one day become chieftain herself, though she much prefers running about in the trees, wasting times with the cubs, or hunting for the lost treasures of the old times. She may be sharp, fearsome with her great sword, and a lover of her people, but a leader? She wasn't quite sure that was what she wanted for herself. That decision was made for her, though, the day the men from the south arrived. Men of the cities, men of kings and money and of power. Men looking to expand, looking to take what wasn't theirs. Times were quickly changing. She was told upon their arrival that the old gods were dead, and soon their way of life would be as well. A bloody fight ensued, many were killed, and not many of her people managed to survive the attack. Many of their rival and neighboring tribes fared no better. Her father, pulling her away from heartache and death, told her to run, to leave her land, to leave her home, and to head for New Verdalka, to gain power there, rise in the ranks of the people, to make them understand, to put an end to this taking of their land. And so, she ran. Morganix Amela is not an adventurer, thank you very much. She's a librarian. She would have been perfectly happy living out her days in a life committed to study and charity. A calm, quiet life where nothing more terrible than the accidental burning of toast ever happened. Sadly, that was just not in the cards. Morganix was an only child when her dreams took on a decidedly odd turn. They were fuzzy at first. She would wake knowing something unusual had occurred, and her dreams had felt not normal. She eventually was able to remember a male voice speaking to her, and eventually that voice named itself Galadar. During a night of uneasy sleep, Galadar came to her with a dire warning. An evil person with a great weapon of power had died in a secret tomb in a nearby forest. He urged Morganix to retrieve the weapon so that it could be turned over to the right people. Upon discovery of the hilt, she stared at it with utter bewilderment. Morganix raised her eyes to see a rough-looking mercenary, an arrow notched, ready to pierce her heart. At that moment, the hilt began to speak to her. In a state of panic, Morganix couldn't later recall what exactly it had said. She only knew that it had promised to get her out of that place alive well, something. In an instant, Morganix was safely back in the forest. She ran far, far, far away, and, well, just far enough away to safely have another panic attack. Upon return to the College of Hearthcrest, she had an idea, and it was as good an idea as any. She decided to go to Efera. There was a senior member of the college who studied anomalies like this. She swore she would take a year, just 1 year, to overcome her fear of this thing. She would either master it or find a way to contain its evil, if it truly was evil. She would study and understand it in a safe place, far, far, far away from the people she loved. Varnast Halmaru is a Tempest cleric from the Western Salamander. He serves the gods of Estitia and Acadia, the primordial embodiment of water and wind. His faith and unwillingness to bend his morals won him the respect of his peers, but also the ire of his superiors. When we first met Varnast, he was a member of the Golden Shield, serving under Agatha Durandon. However, she grew tired of his disapproval towards her actions, and ultimately had him killed at the hands of his own comrades. Yet, this would not be the end of Varnast. He awoke in a nearby jungle, receiving a vision from a spirit in the form of a wolf. He was shown the party and knew that he was tasked to protect and aid these people. Now, Varnast serves as a protector for the party, though his stubbornness and ruthless nature towards those he deems evil has led to contention at times. Sayla was born in the Seraph. Her mother and father were lowly followers. They worked long hours as laborers and seemed content with their lives, happy to be what they were and nothing more. They preached about humble beginnings and using peaceful methods to solve problems. They stuck close to their religion and never swayed, trying to teach their daughter the same. Unfortunately, life would find a way of twisting that girl into be something else. She was never meant to be a lowly follower of a laborer in the great city of the Seraph, nor was a life of peace and humble ways appealing to her. self-centered, and nothing like what her parents wished her to be. She grew up going against their wishes. She always seemed to be in a constant state of rebellion. Eventually, this led to her father having no choice. She was cast out, forced to live on her own. She learned, and she grew, joining the Thieves' Guild where she honed her skills. It was there that she learned more about the world, that there was so much more than just the Seraph. She also learned that she had a knack for murder. She had taken a job as a hired killer. Merchants are incredibly cutthroat beings. They'll do anything to stay on top. Some years passed and she finally had made enough gold to move. She had chosen the city of New Verdalka for its cutthroats and its vibrant culture. A colorful place, perfect to rise up and make something of yourself, unlike her stagnant home of the Seraph. She would travel to Efera to start her new life. From there, she would hide what she was doing behind a treasure-hunting persona. She would take contracts on the side while hunting a fortune to boost her status. It was time to live and let the fun begin. Zamir Dragu, more affectionately known as Cyrus, is a wild magic tiefling sorcerer from the city of Sloshtedt. Or, at least so he thought. Troubled by his lack of knowledge or memory of his gift of wild magic, Cyrus finds himself drinking to dull and suppress his innate magical abilities. Originally fleeing from New Verdalka from the city of Dragon's Bay after seizing an opportunity during a gambling match and a wild magic accident. Cyrus has a checkered past with Duradine Dupree, who is now in pursuit of both the group and their current objective. While Cyrus is still his own biggest fan, he has found himself to care for his companions of happenstance. They stand by him after magical surges and learning details of his checkered and indulgent past. He hides most of his emotion through alcohol or a laugh, but can lash out through a wild magic, whether intentional or not. Now, Cyrus sees an opportunity not only to sever his tie to his past that still threatens him, but to potentially rewrite his past as a whole and find out who he really is and where his magic comes from. Alex Silverfoot is a native of Efera. Her people lived deep within the northern jungles, far from civilization and far from the burgeoning city of New Verdalka. Her people took pride in living off the land, communing with the spirits of the earth, and maintaining the ways of the old gods. Alec is the first daughter of the chieftain and first in line to one day become chieftain herself, though she much prefers running about in the trees, wasting times with the cubs, or hunting for the lost treasures of the old times. She may be sharp, fearsome with her greatsword, and a lover of her people, but a leader? She wasn't quite sure that was what she wanted for herself. That decision was made for her, though, the day the men from the south arrived. Men of the cities, men of kings and money and of power. Men looking to expand, looking to take what wasn't theirs. Times were quickly changing. She was told upon their arrival that the old gods were dead, and soon their way of life would be as well. A bloody fight ensued, many were killed, and not many of her people managed to survive the attack. Many of their rival and neighboring tribes fared no better. Her father, pulling her away from heartache and death, told her to run, to leave her land, to leave her home, and to head for New Verdalka, to gain power there, rise in the ranks of the people, to make them understand, to put an end to this taking of their land. And so, she ran. Morganix Amela is not an adventurer, thank you very much. She's a librarian. She would have been perfectly happy living out her days in a life committed to study and charity. A calm, quiet life where nothing more terrible than the accidental burning of toast ever happened. Sadly, that was just not in the cards. Morganix was an only child when her dreams took on a decidedly odd turn. They were fuzzy at first. She would wake knowing something unusual had occurred, and her dreams had felt not normal. She eventually was able to remember a male voice speaking to her, and eventually that voice named itself Galadar. During a night of uneasy sleep, Galadar came to her with a dire warning. An evil person with a great weapon of power had died in a secret tomb in a nearby forest. He urged Morganix to retrieve the weapon so that it could be turned over to the right people. Upon discovery of the hilt, she stared at it with utter bewilderment. Morganix raised her eyes to see a rough-looking mercenary, an arrow notched, ready to pierce her heart. At that moment, the hilt began to speak.
Uh-oh.
Look at me, I'm the DM now.
Oh, God. And they all live happily ever after.
Hell no, have you seen the way I DM?
Once. It worked out. We made it out.
Okay, there we go. Woo! Oh, we cannot hear you. Yes, I understood. I understood what was happening. So, welcome to Roll with Advantage 5e. My name is Joe, and I will be your Dungeon Master this evening. If you can tell, I'm wearing such a soft, luxurious, beautiful hoodie with a design done that is actually from the Explorers of Efera campaign, the tavern sign with the Leaping King Inn. And this sweater, this hoodie is so comfortable, in fact, that I didn't even have a chance to wear it today because my Kayla decided that she wanted to wear it instead. So she actually stole it from me, and then I had to steal it back. So I'm wearing it right now. I'm very happy. It's very warm, very cozy, but I'm sure I'll have to take it off at the break because I get hot way too fast. So that's a necessary fact all of you need to know.
Stress sweat, I get it.
Exactly. And I think those are going to happen today. What does that mean? Oh, you
What's that fucking mean?
You all will see. You'll see. Oh. Yes, thank you, Kayla, for throwing in the artist. So as I say every single time, question, have you even watched it? I just got it yesterday. What do you expect me to do? Wash it every day? No. I'm wearing this for the next 72 hours and I'm not taking it off. I just got it yesterday. What do you mean I've been wearing it a lot? Terrible. Gemma bad. So if you, I would like to, I would like to give a big shout out to our artists, Lisa, not Gemma, Andy, and PT Dat. I recommend you go check out all of their Instagrams except Gemma, the person who made this wonderful sweater, or wonderful hoodie. She doesn't deserve it. She's great though. I'm just kidding. So go check out their Instagram. They're all very, very talented individuals. Even Gemma. And they are all, no, make more art, please. So please go check them out. They're all very cool, and I thoroughly, thoroughly, thoroughly recommend it. So I think that I'm busting. Also, on top of that, what Kayla sent in, please join the Roll with Advantage Discord server in case you want to just generally vibe with us nerdy people who apparently like to yell at each other, because that's about all we do in the Discord calls, is we just make each other feel bad for liking mayo on pizza.
I'm sorry, what?
Or
No.
or
Joe.
No, it's not me, it's Lisa. Lisa's the gross one.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Or liking peanut butter and pickle sandwiches, or liking cheeseburger pizza. That's my own sin. So, right, we're all misfits on this island. So, in that way, we all belong on the same island together. And I'm happy to be.
My husband likes ranch, so ranch on his pizza.
Oh, okay, we're not going to talk about it. We don't have time for that because we've got a session to get into. And boy, oh boy, do we have some shit to dig into. So, with that, I think we should go ahead and roll the intro and then go ahead and get started. Alrighty. And we are back. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So, let us get started. Last we had left off, the explorers of Efera, they found themselves in the middle of a torrential civil war. A war between the colonists of this new land and the natives who lived their entire lives on the continent of Efera. They found themselves on the side of the natives, fighting for abolitionism and a prosperity that could be shared between the natives and the colonists. Something that not all colonists were against, but something that a good number of them were uncomfortable with. Thanks to their diplomatic skill and martial prowess, they were able to emerge victorious. Having met with the Silver Rose in a very intense conversation, Morganix was able to convince him to get a meeting for all of you with the governor. All he asked from you was that you find the feather that would restore his divinity, a feather that the party already had. After the success of their meeting with the Silver Rose, they met with the governor of New Verdalka, a blue dragonborn and a man of fact before emotion. Alec, Cyrus, and Morganix were able to convince him to join their side and aid them in taking down Agatha Durandon, not only the leader of the Golden Shields, but also the person who murdered the execution of your favorite cleric, Varnast. And by killing her, by taking her down, you could free the city from her grasp. And Governor Torin, he agreed and sent the 5 of you off to the lawbearers of the city, and then the lawbearers escorted you directly to Agatha. A gruesome fight proceeded that almost took the lives of 3 of the 5 of you, but luckily all arose victorious. Some missing teeth, and most missing a fair bit of blood, but luckily all of you survived. You won. Agatha is dead and New Verdalka is free. We're going to pick up our story about 5 hours after that fight. So this is going very, very late into the evening, almost like 5 a.m. at this point. So let me go ahead and fast forward here. So in this current moment, as all of you are going through all of this, right? The events that is going through the rest of the city and going through the entirety of the Golden Cove, making sure that any and all of those golden shields that they have either surrendered or thrown down their arms. And what you find is that any stragglers who belong to the Golden Shields who were willing to fight have either been executed or taken prisoner. And most of the Golden Shields that were there are still alive. An astonishing 550 soldiers have laid down their arms and surrendered, waiting for what may come next. And at this moment, all of you have taken a breath. You've taken a moment to take practically a little bit longer of a short rest and breathe. And for the first time after so many months of running, and anxiety, you finally have a moment to breathe. It's finally a moment. I mean, you're still waiting to hear from Lawbearer Annika and the governor and the Silver Rose and any other context you may have in here to understand the full extent of what's happened. Yeah, because you guys don't need to really move right now.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. So you take that moment to breathe. So I want to start off with a question for the 5 of you in this current moment. As you are just in Agatha's study right now, having gone back up there after spreading the word that Agatha's dead and doing what you needed to do to end the fighting, heading back up there to lick your wounds and just to breathe, in this moment of calm and respite, I want to know what all of your characters are thinking about to try and get them to a positive mental state, a calm state. So we'll go ahead and start with, we'll start alphabetically. Alec, what is Alec thinking about in this current moment to try and calm herself down after this entire torrential terribleness that has been this Revolutionary War?
Okay. That's an interesting question. Well, I think that what she's thinking about, with, a mouthful of probably drying blood, from Agatha's heart, She's thinking about the conversation that she had with the governor, and coupling that with what Cyrus said to her after they left, and about how her dad would be really proud of her. And I think that makes her feel like she did something good and she finally stepped up to be the leader that she was supposed to be. I think part of her is finally shifting to think that she can see herself as a chief one day, and this was a step in the right direction. So I think that speech and Cyrus's words are just kind of going through her head, and maybe some of the last conversations she had with her dad before she left.
Mm-hmm.
She's happy, she's content, her bloodlust has been quenched, but that's what she's thinking about.
Okay. So then we'll move from that to Morganix. What is Morganix currently thinking about in this moment?
If we're in her study, Morganix is raiding. She is looking through her books. She is looking for anything possibly of use to them, and she's just sorting kind of happily. It's kind of like old routine and comfortable for her, and just going on autopilot as she goes through Agatha's stuff.
Sounds good. So we'll hop back to that in a little bit. So then we come to Sayla. What is Sayla thinking about in this current moment, coming down off of the high and anxiety that has been these past month and a half?
She's thinking, if it's this hard to kill Agatha, how hard is it going to be to actually do what Varnes said he'd help her with, what they all said they'd help her with after this? Because in her mind, the angel is like probably a lot stronger, just from having grown up there.
Yeah. Okay. Does Sayla have any happy thoughts right now? Anything that might actually be helping her have some perspective on the victory that they had?
She's very happy to see that Agatha is gone. She feels a little bit bad that Varnes didn't get to do it. But he was kind of in a bad situation.
Yeah, he was a little unconscious.
I was a little one turn away from dying, kind of doing so. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Thanks for killing her.
Made the right choice. Okay, and then Cyrus. What is going through Cyrus's mind right now? Maybe.
Jamie,
buddy.
Jamie, are you there? Papa, can you hear me?
God, I knew.
damn it! I was just gonna say that.
This fucking thing.
It's weird because I can see his character bouncing on the stream,
But I cannot hear him.
Yeah, cursed.
Jamie, come
absolutely.
back.
Cyrus is lost in thought.
Yeah. So as Cyrus is thinking and possibly mulling over drinking, Varnas, what is Varnas thinking about in this current moment?
First, he's gathered all of his teeth that he can find from the floor. He's shoved them back in and used whatever cure wound spells I need to in order to get them back in there.
Yep, fine.
As much as it might hurt or be ugly, he did that.
So gross.
Yeah. On a happier note, he would be on those stairs that led up to where some of those sorry, not the Warforged, the
constructs.
Constructs, thank you. I knew it started with a C. He'd be up there, he'd just be kind of halfway up the stairs, and while he's fixing his teeth, he's just staring at Agatha's, armor-clad, headless corpse, and just thinking, she's dead.
Yeah.
She's finally gone. And once he got his teeth back in place with a small but a clear smile on his face, he would actually also start looking through Agatha's books. He's specifically trying to find a ledger about where the golden shields are, and if any have been sent out, what their missions were, what their assignments are. He's very specifically looking for that because she has to have something that she's keeping track of where her people are.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and have either Morganix or Varnast make a check with advantage, or the two of you can make separate ones.
You go for it.
Investigation.
The only issue is between the fireball and the wall of fire, her desk is completely in embers, completely burned. And There's not really anything on the desk that you could find. I will say that in some of the rubble, what you're able to find is you're able to find small bits and pieces of maybe journal entries in her own personal notes or letters she was about to send out that are not completely burned away. You see a few letters you're able to barely find in sort of the secret compartment that's really easy to get to, considering the desk is falling apart and almost burned to ash. Still, most of the papers were burned up, but you can find some things talking about messages back and forth between not just the Governado, but also Duradine Dupree. Letters expressing Duradine Dupree's dissatisfaction with the Golden Shields. And I would say that you'd probably be able to find that Duradine Dupree has lost interest in this business venture. And stopped paying the Golden Shields. And it was, not exactly a pretty end. And it was really just the Governado who was fueling this fire. So you also do find a brief interaction in a leather-bound journal. It seemed to be her own personal notes. That is, like I said, burnt to a crisp. But one of the things you are able to find is that you find certain notes on Alhassa and the Crimson Companions in these notes, where it seemed as though that Agatha was supremely uncomfortable, and not uncomfortable, she hated the idea of making deals with the Knolls. Absolutely hated it, and she didn't want anything to do with it. And Alhassa disobeyed her orders and had them start making deals with the Knolls. Apparently having all of the Screaming Weasels, all of those bandits who existed up and down the roads, having all of them captured and stolen by Knolls for experimenting and corruption.
Oof.
Yeah. So, and Agatha wanted no part of that. She wanted to win this war the way that she knew how, and maybe it would have been different if she would have been willing to make bad deals, but she didn't. I'd say because it was a 24. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So with a 24, I'd say that what you are able to find is in that same notebook, you find a combination to something. Not exactly sure for what, probably to some type of safe, but you're not exactly sure what safe or where. Just that it is a combination that will unlock something.
Can I try looking around the room and tugging on shelves and just...
Yeah, make another investigation check.
I'm just gonna turn that room over. Nah.
Well, still
That's not
19.
bad.
In this room, you turn over almost every single book, tug on every lantern, you do everything you can, but you don't really find anything in here. So it seems as though right now the information in this room, it doesn't seem like there's very much more to gather in here. From your extensive searching, you feel pretty confident about that. You do have the loot that was on the body of the mage and on Agatha herself. That Frostbrand longsword, her armor and shield, which neither one of those were magical. They were both mundane, just finely made, but still mundane.
Anyone want to go find her bedroom?
I'll go with
Sure.
you.
Okay. So you three, is this just kind of a group thing? All you guys are going together to
Yeah, I mean, I would assume. I think that it might not be necessarily exceptionally safe to just wander independently right now. Like, I'm sure I'm assuming the fighting has slowly died down, but just in case.
Yeah, the
There
fighting.
could still be stragglers.
Yeah, at
Yeah.
this point, the fighting is completely stopped. The Law Knights have sort of occupied the entirety of the Golden Cove and sanctioned off those who are prisoners and those who have surrendered into two different areas of the Golden Cove, making sure to keep them separate and keep weapons away from all of them. However, as all of you begin to make your way down from that area and head down those stairs looking for the room, you are confronted by Lawbearer Annika, the albino tiefling woman who was the head of the law in in New Verdalka. So let me go ahead and there we go. And then for some reason it's not. There we go. So you eventually, as you're coming down the hallway ready to split off into separate directions, she finds all of you and she says, I'm very happy to have caught all of you. Are all of you doing all right?
As well as can be expected given the circumstances.
Good. Everyone else was all right?
Alec is just standing there with like dried blood on her mouth. I am doing well.
I wanted to show all of you something, if you don't mind taking a look.
Certainly.
Of course. And you can see her kind of having this, like, these smiles that just kind of creeps up the corner of her mouth, but then she kind of tucks away. And she begins to walk, and walking away from the third level of the keep where you're at, eventually down first level, and then underground, heading down a spiral staircase that descends probably 2 floors beneath the ground level. And eventually heading down the stairs and carrying a torch with her, lighting the way, you eventually open up into this large, probably 20 by 20 square room, and you can see that there is a large metal door on the opposite end of the staircase. And she begins to approach, and she says, "This is the vault of the Golden Cove. Took my Law Knights a little while to find it, but we found it. And, well, I figured all of you have a closer connection with Agatha, as I never spoke to her that much. I was hoping that you might know of a way to open it."
I think I might.
Okay. Easy enough. You can see there is a small dial with a ring of numbers around it, and entering the code that you found, you hear 3 successful clicks, and then a few tunk, tunk, clunk, clunk, very chunky metal noises of fasteners undoing themselves, and then releasing, and then you see the door squeak open just a little bit.
Varnas would head over and grab the door and start opening it, whether it was a push or a pull, I don't know.
That's okay. So you grab the door, you open it, you pull it open. There you go. And as you do, it's dark in the room, but the light from Annika's torch, she hands it off to you, and you can see just endless lines of large steel chests that go from one end of the room to the other. And going over towards one of the chests, Varnas opening it, you can see that chest is full of gold, filled to the brim with gold and platinum. So, I will say that there are other things in here, but total wealth of gold in this room is about 1.2 million gold pieces.
Oh my god.
Come again.
Huh?
Oh, hey, Jamie.
Yeah, hi.
I've been back.
Hear
Been back for a
you.
while.
Oh, honey.
All right, I didn't hear you say anything.
Okay, we're loaded.
Well, it's not ours. It,
I mean,
No,
is it
no,
though?
no, 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 no.
Is it though?
It's not.
Let's see what else is in here, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop those magical glasses on and detect magic.
It's a really good idea, actually.
Okay.
I got the cheat sheet here.
Okay. You want to pop on those glasses? Let's do it.
I do. I really do.
Okay. So, in the room, going through with the goggles, opening each one of the chests and sort of looking into them, there are a few things that you find. For one, you find a few miscellaneous, different things that seem to be subtly magically charged, like with some health potions, perhaps just enhanced magically. So you find 4 greater health potions in here.
I will take those for the war effort.
Yep. And then I will... Here, I'm just going to open up your character sheet, and then I guess that I'm just going to drop these items into your character sheet.
I'm also
Oh,
taking
okay.
notes, so we have them.
Okay. So, the first thing that you find that catches your attention is you find one, and Morganix has heard of these. They are very, very well-renowned by adventurer groups, and they love to have them. You find one bag of holding.
Hey.
Yay.
You
Nice.
find a pair of goggles of night.
Ooh.
You
Always
find
useful.
one immovable rod.
Joe
You-
really likes those.
I do. I love immovable rods. You find one staff of fire.
Hey, Cyrus.
And then you find one more thing, and it is in the very, very back of the room in a very large, ornate chest that has nothing in it except for this one thing. As you open it and you look in, you have to immediately take the glasses off as the light that emits from this magical object is almost blinding to you with those glasses on. And for a moment, you don't exactly know why. I'd like you to roll an Arcana check for me real quick.
Oh, damn.
Till you look at it.
That's more like it.
There you go. That's some organics I know.
You had 2 really good investigation checks first in your defense.
And
Cyrus, have you ever seen anything like this before?
Cyrus, go ahead and make an Arcana check. As you sort of look down, peering at the item in the chest, just the small item in the chest. Cyrus, you have heard one story about something similar to these. What you look and see in the chest is a small, what looks to be ivory, trimmed with gold, small little chest, a little case almost, radiating magical energy. It couldn't be more than 6 inches long by maybe 3 or 4 inches wide. It's got a small metal clasp on one end, and as you pick up the case, holding it in your hand, Cyrus, you open it up and you can see that there is a deck of cards inside.
Fuck off.
What?
Fuck off.
No, no,
Right.
Joe, I was kidding.
Right into the ocean with that
Huh?
shit.
I was kidding.
Why?
I was kidding.
But why? I'm confused.
Oh no. And Cyrus is near them right now.
Cyrus, you've got him in your hands.
Cyrus.
Huh?
Do you want to draw a card, Cyrus?
Cyrus is a gambling man. Cyrus has always liked to gamble.
I am the most confused.
Cyrus is going to draw a card.
Now we're Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay. Whew. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell there.
Things
okay.
were going so well.
You were talking in Discord last night about why was there a deck of cards on your thing. Oh my god, you monster!
R.I.P. our campaign. just it's gone. It's over.
Sadly, I wasn't able to get the dice thing to work, so that kind of sucks. But what I'm gonna do is let's see.
Morgonix wouldn't even have had time to pass out those potions.
No, yeah. Okay. So currently, got this. Wait a second. Okay, cool.
Can't wait for the Avatar of Death to follow us around for the next 20 sessions.
And before I pull a card and just drop dead.
Or your soul gets sucked out like the dude from the other show.
God. Okay.
Oh, man.
So, Cyrus, what I'm going to go ahead and do is there are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Alright, there's 22 hearts there. This is why I was hoping I could get the card thing to work, because it makes it a lot easier.
There is actually an official Wizard of the Coast deck of many things generator online.
I know, but I want you to be the person in charge of...
Oh, like me to actually draw it. Okay.
Yeah. So what I'm going to have you do, I think you can do this, actually. Oh, yeah. Can you really do that? Oh my god, you really can do that. That's so funny. Okay, so what you're going to do, Jamie, is you're going to roll a d22.
Yes.
Okay. So, just for flavor, Cyrus is gonna open this and be like, "Oh, I've heard of these."
I hate you so much right now.
And he'll turn and say, "As you know, darlings, I do like to gamble," and then pull a card.
Wait, what?
Is there a chance Kayla knows what he's doing?
No, I don't think any of the rest of you would have heard about this.
Dang.
No.
You hit a 21. Let's go to Vegas. What is a crushing wave?
I mean, I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's 21's a Cyrus number, man. It's blackjack.
Alrighty. So, Cyrus, you feel as you do that, you draw what looks to be a card depicting a fool. And you feel the knowledge in your brain is racked, the arcane knowledge that you possess as a sorcerer, and you feel as though if you had been anywhere else, if you hadn't just reached a new plateau of your sorcerer powers, it might have been very bad. But luckily for you, you just reached a new plateau, so you're safe. As you draw the card, it fizzles, and nothing really happens, but you feel compelled to draw another card. And I need you to roll another D22 for me.
Cyrus will kind of look at the card as it turns to ash and be weird. Let's try again.
Would it be a D21 now because there's a card gone, or are you just going to keep it at 22 for
Keep it at
simplicity?
22, and it's just on the list of whatever it may be.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Oh my god. So, let me recount that, make sure that's right.
Oh no.
That's a great sign. That's wonderful.
It's 10? Yep, okay. Alrighty. So, Cyrus, as you are pulling the card, you see what looks to be a beautiful glittering card full of different gemstones, whether they be diamonds or rubies, sapphires, emeralds, topaz. And from the card, as the card begins to dissolve, these gems come to life and spill out of the card and onto your feet, surrounding you until you are completely buried in 25 different pieces of jewelry worth 2,000 gold each.
I'm sorry.
My thieving heart.
So, that is 50,000 gold worth of jewels that you now have on your person.
You'll just hear, like, muffled from, like, as he's, like, Scrooge McDuck diving into this jewelry. This is fucking amazing! Holy shit, I'm rich!
Can Sayla snitch a couple for herself?
Make a
Just,
sleight
you
hand
know.
check.
Oh, goodness. Dang.
19?
Oh, it's 19. I seen something else.
No, you're fine. Okay, 19. Yeah, Cyrus wouldn't notice. I'd say you could probably grab 2. So, Cyrus, you actually have 46,000 gold worth of that, and Sayla, you have 4,000 gold worth of gems.
For the effort.
Yeah.
You said 4,000?
4,000 gold worth of gems.
Sweet.
Cyrus,
put
those
the
were two
gems.
pretty good cards. Are you going to draw a third one?
Sorry, I'm dreaming right now. Like, what's happening?
No. Cyrus is going to be like, oh me, oh my, and kind of be like, this calls for a celebration, I think, when I can have a nice drink. And closes the deck and puts it in his inner jacket pocket.
Okay. Alrighty, 20 cards remaining. You tuck it in. You tuck your deck of many things, a legendary trinket, away in your sleeve pocket. And that was the last big thing that was in this room.
Oh my god.
Morgonix is so confused.
Alec is like hasn't moved since we walked in. I don't think she's even fathomed that this much money could even exist because her people don't even comprehend how this works. So she's just confused as well. Hello,
Hello?
Yeah, hi.
Joe.
Yeah, I'm
Hi.
here.
Okay, that was weird. Okay.
Sorry. So with that, you collect all the items, and Annika seems also very confused about what's happening right now, and she says, so I think that what would be best, for one, Morganix, thank you, for that. Oh my, and just sort of looking around at all the gold. Well, I think that there might be a few meetings that I'll need to have with the governor.
It sounds great, darling. And Cyrus is just stuffing every pocket available with these gems.
Okay.
I will offer the bag of holding to him.
Oh god, yes. I swear, it's pulling my pants down. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there are. Here's what I'm going to go ahead and do: is I'm going to go ahead and make a PC. I'm going to create an actor sheet that is bag of holding. It is a player character. Configure permissions. All players are an owner. Save. So, loot. I'm going to go ahead and put... edit this real quick, just so it's in there. 46,000 EP of gems. There we go. Just gotta find somebody to sell it to. All right. So we have that, the bag of holding. Scooped all that up. Very good stuff. And also, Cyrus, you now can add one deck of many things to your inventory.
Yes.
Alrighty. So you have that. Tuck it away, and you keep it away for a while. So you then choose to. So Annika, she looks around and says, "Well, I appreciate all of your help, and honestly, this has been one of the best days I think I've had in a very long time, and it's thanks to you." That being said, there are quite a few things that the governor and I needed to attend to, reaching out to the Silver Rose and then Ethos as well, and seeing where Ulf is at with all of this. But
I don't mean to be disrespectful, but what happens to all of this? She kind of like gestures around to the fucking stacks of chests and money.
well, to be fair, a vast majority of it will probably go towards repairing the district of the city that was completely destroyed by Agatha. The rest of it going towards paying a good portion of these Golden Shields members, because if we are to march on New Efera, it'd be best to have them than no one. I believe that if the chain of command serves my knowledge correct, then Ulf Hornwood will be the person in charge of the Golden Shields. If Ethos isn't available to come here. If he's at the
Oh, I'm gonna look at Varnast. We need to get in contact with Ethos. Can you do that tomorrow?
Yeah, leave it to me.
I would like to just say that I think it might be a good idea to send some funds, if they are available, to All's Crossing.
Of course.
They are rebuilding there, and it is acting as the example that we want to set everywhere else. So the stronger they can rebuild and fortify themselves, I think it would be best.
Of course. It'll be things that I'll have to discuss with the governor while he's still here. But I'm sure that we can work something out. For the meantime, him and I and Ethos and Ulf, I suppose, will be very busy discussing that. So, well, I want to thank all of you for your service, but I think at least for now, you're done. Of course, if the governor needs anything from the five of you, I'm sure that he'll reach out, but at least I think as of right now, you all have the time to do what you wish until we decide to march on New Efera.
And we don't have to hide anymore.
No.
Oh shit, I didn't even think about that. Oh god, this dreadful cloak!
Yes, you'll be free to move around the city as you please. And
I would also ask that if there are any natives in the city, I feel as though it is only right that they are given some of this. We don't use currency or coins or this isn't something that is a part of our culture, so if we are to work together, and this is something I'm sure the governor will speak with you of, I think they deserve something to start with.
No, I don't think that reparations are that far of a. I think that's a very fair request. Of course, as I said, I'm not the one in charge of this money. It'll be left up to the governor. However, I'm sure that all of you, for your services, you'll be rendered in a very fine payment. And as I think I already see those magic items that were in here, I suppose that you believe that you are entitled to those? You can see her say with kind of a laugh.
Morganix is going to suddenly look very ashamed.
It's fine.
I'm sorry. No,
Believe me, the last thing that I want is for the Law Knights under my command to be bickering over who is entitled to a Frostbrand longsword or that staff of whatever it was. So, if anything, you're doing me a favor by taking those. So, please.
These items would be of great help to us in what's to come.
Of course. And I know that your journey does not end here. I know that you probably have much more on your plate that you need to deal with. So, please, take the items. And whenever the governor and myself, and Ethos and Ulf figure out whatever your reward will be, we'll be in contact. But for now, take a break. You've earned it. You've been fighting nonstop for who knows how long. And I am happy to be the one to tell you that I think you've earned it. You've done a great service that I don't think the city and the people of it will be ever able to repay in its full entirety.
Thank you. I think we all really appreciate the words. This has been a very hard-fought battle for all of us. And it's good to finally feel as though some victory has come from it.
Yeah. We should find Jalissa.
I agree.
Maybe she can take her house back.
She deserves to have her stuff back.
Of course. Sadly, her residence was one of the ones that was destroyed in Agatha's temper
Of course
tantrum.
it was.
I'll call it what it is. But we'll make sure to figure something out for Jalissa. I'm sure that considering her current tastes, perhaps staying in the governor's mansion might not be too terrible for her in the meantime.
She's been of great help to us.
Of course. Well, as I said, for now, rest well. For now, there are quarters in the Golden Cove that you can stay at and rest until you're fully recharged, and then after that, come find me in the governor's mansion. I think I may have something that can help. So, thank you. Please, rest, breathe, take a moment, and then whenever you're ready, come and find me. And hopefully by then, I'll have it all ready for you.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Alec will give her the whole fist to her chest and just give her a nod as she goes.
Okay. Everybody else heading out as well?
Yeah.
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 Alrighty. So all of you head out and you find the quarters and you rest, unless anybody wanted to have any conversations before everybody passed out.
Just while it's still relevant, Morgonix is not keeping all this stuff. Can we figure out what's going where?
Oh yeah, sure. As you guys are getting ready, sitting down in the beds, ready to pass out, just so that way it's very easily going from one person to another.
Okay, Cyrus, are you taking the
Staff.
bag, the bag of holding?
Yes, darling. If you don't mind.
Okay. You want the staff of fire?
I mean,
Whatever on earth that might... Oh, let me see what that is. Oh, it's actually pretty clutch.
could Morgonix use it?
No, not with my hexblade. And it lets you do wall of fire, so I think that's much
fucking
more
hell.
stuff.
Then, absolutely.
Joe, how do I give this to him?
You delete it from your character sheet, and I can drop it into Cyrus's character sheet. Actually,
Okay.
what I can do is I can just, Jamie, if you go to the little file cabinet button, the items directory,
Yep.
and then you go to Efera items, configure permissions. All players are observers of it, or owners of it, I should say. You should be able to see the Staff of Fire there, and you should just be able to left click and drag onto your character sheet.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, who doesn't have dark vision?
Varnast raises his hand.
I mean, Sayla wouldn't either, would she?
No,
Nope.
Human life.
Yeah.
So we got goggles of night, which while wearing them you have dark vision to a range of 60 feet.
Sayla's gonna kind of look eager and then look to Varnest like, well,
One of you two can have it.
Guess Morgonix will give them to Sayla.
She's not going to turn them down. She's not.
No. Who's out of potions?
That would be me.
Okay, take a greater.
I will absolutely do that.
There's 3 more. Anybody else need potions?
I don't have any, but I can also heal myself.
Yeah, but you don't.
Varnas, take one.
I'm teasing. Varnas, take one. Sayla, do you need one? Cyrus, do you need one?
I think I'm alright.
Ooh. I've actually.
Are you
still
reading
got
that
one.
staff? Oh, okay.
No, no, I've still got a greater healing potion. I'm okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't even
Then
add. Joe, do you want me to add the goggles of night to my thing, or do you want to add it because it's got special shit?
No, I already got it on there for you.
Oh, you freaking are fast.
I'm on top of it.
we have these magical bracers. They're not identified. I don't know what they do. I'm thinking because they're bracers, they might be for Alec.
Do bracers count as armor, Joe?
No.
I will take them.
I will hand those off to you. And then I've got... Sorry. What else did I pick up? Spell scrolls. One of Fireball and one of Invisibility. Cyrus, do you want either of those?
I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I can cast Invisibility, so do you want it just in cases?
I could take the invisible scroll. I mean, if you want to keep the fireball scroll.
Sure, I'm just not trying to be greedy. Yeah, but take Invisibility since I can cast it.
Okay.
Okay, I think that's all the stuff. Oh wait, no, there's the immovable rod. Should we just put that in the bag of holding?
Yeah, that's gonna be such a, a unique use.
Yeah. But it's so
okay,
good.
let's put that in the bag of holding.
And that could be like anyone could use it or need it, at any time.
Yeah.
And can I merge the Frostbrand longsword with my hexblade?
You could, yeah.
Oh.
How do I do that?
I'm pretty sure it's part of... Because, right, you're a Blade Pact warlock as well, right?
I am.
So, yeah, pretty much, I'm pretty sure over the course of a short or long rest, you can attune to a weapon to sort of take the place of your hexblade. So, yeah, it would pretty much just be the Frostbrand longsword. But it would just be...
But would it still be... would it still be the pommel and everything that I have? It would just kind of, absorb?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it, goes into a pocket dimension, and then it's just your blade instead. Yeah.
Where do I find that longsword to drag it to my inventory?
If you go to the top, right next to the...
Search items.
Yeah, and then you should be able to search for Frostbrand now. 2 words. Should be able to find it.
I feel bad. Varnas didn't get anything.
Oh, I'm getting something.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's it, but the sword isn't showing up for me. I'm sorry, Joe.
Continue to raid through this place and find more things.
Yeah, Varnas is gonna take Agatha's fucking teeth.
Yeah.
Did you type in Frostbrand as 2 different words?
No, I didn't.
2 words.
Okay, sorry. I'm good.
No, that's okay. I just would have been concerned if it wouldn't have worked. Activation cost. Okay, sorry. I'm just trying to figure out how to chargeable. I'm trying to get the thing to work for your thing, Alec, but I'll just have to
My thing? What do I have?
the bracers.
Are they in my inventory? Or do we need to get them identified first?
No, they're in
Well,
your...
you'll get them overnight, so
Yeah,
you'll know what they are.
Okay, cool.
But they're because you're gonna take a long rest right now anyway. But their braces are defense.
Knew it.
Yeah, so plus 2 to AC while wearing no armor and using no shield.
Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go! Okay. I'm not mad.
What would that put you at? 19 now?
Yes, it would, sir. Yes, it would, good sir.
The only issue
I will
is
forever
yes.
be your meat shield, ladies and gentlemen.
I
I'll take
can't
both.
figure out how to equip this sword. I'm stupid.
No, it's okay. Here, I'll come to your character sheet in a second, and I will get it.
I'm so sorry. I'm probably boring the crap out of everybody.
No,
No, not at all.
Girl, this is part of D&D. We got
This
to get
is
our
the
good
game.
weapons.
I mean, this
We
this
have
is
been
this is
rewarded.
all. We're at the end of the raid. We're looting, man.
Yeah,
It's fine.
For real.
fucking great.
The episode's literally called "To the Victor Goes the Spoils."
We
so,
literally got all of the fucking money and magic items.
well,
Chef's
not all the
kiss.
money, but
Cyrus has plenty to spare, though.
true.
Define spare, right?
That's so weird. I'm gonna have to toy around with this.
Okay,
No, not the sword.
I'll come
thing.
back to it later.
No. The sword thing's
Oh.
super easy to do. Let me just.
I mean, hopefully, you don't need to use it the rest of the session.
No, yeah. So the sword goes. If you scroll down, there's like the items and there's weapons. All you have to do is click on Frostbrand, and then there's like a little shield button in the bottom, right-hand corner. Click on that, then it equips it.
Oh wait, where'd it go? Okay. Oh. Wait,
There
what?
you go. Sorry,
Okay, there it goes.
Yeah, I had already equipped it, and then you unequipped it. So I just re-equipped it. I have to real quick edit it, though, so that way it is using your charisma modifier.
Yeah, like how do we make that my hexblade?
There you go. It is done.
It is done?
Yep.
Wait, I just realized
Yay!
the thematic thing. Doesn't Varnast have a sword of fire?
No.
It's a
He
sword.
has a staff.
Well, there's the Staff of Fire, and then the Frostbrand, and then his is like it enhances his blood curse or his.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's like the cursed scimitar thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Kopesh,
except he
but
uses. Yeah, he uses lightning. But the thing is, we can change it. So when you take your long rest, are you having it set to necrotic damage for Malcanthit or cold damage from the patron that Charles had?
I'll put it on cold for now.
All right, so it's 1d8 cold, 1d8 or 1d6 cold. That's fun.
Okay.
Alrighty, so there you go. Now the Frostbrand is going to be your Hexblade boy. There. Alrighty. Got that.
Same.
Freezing
I feel the
temperatures.
giddy. Let's get into combat right now. I'm ready. Just kidding. Alec
okay.
really isn't.
All Jimmy needed to do is draw the Avatar of Death card, and you guys would have been in it.
Oh yes, we would have.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Like I said, Cyrus is a gambler man. It's chill. He's lucky.
Yeah.
Okay. So, then we come to... So we guys do that as you're taking your long rest. You eventually dole out all those magical items. You get all that stuff carried away. Or handled away. So in that bag of holding... Let me go ahead and... in the character sheet here. I'm going to go ahead and add the... Right, it's just the immovable rod in there, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then maybe Cyrus's jewels, right?
Yeah, the 46,000.
46 grand. 46 grand of jewels.
Oof.
Immovable rod.
All right.
And then whatever Cyrus else is going to just dump in there now.
Sounds good. Jalissa not near the Golden Cove. No. She's in the sewer still, not knowing exactly what's
She doesn't know
happened
who
yet.
want lost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So then, with that, all of you doling out your magic items, right? Figuring all of that stuff out, you eventually head to sleep. Correct?
Oh yeah.
There's one other thing I want to do
Oh,
real
okay.
quick, but like we don't need to roleplay it out, just information.
Okay.
Varnest would at some point go back down to where the battle took place, and he would remove like every piece of armor like from Agatha and like
Mhm.
bundle it up and gather it, and then like pull it back up with him basically.
Okay. Sounds good. Easy enough. Pull off the golden plate armor that's
The shield too, yeah.
okay, and the shield. All right, bent and cracked, but still very strong metal. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Cool. So with that, we'll go ahead and advance time here as all of you get some much needed sleep. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, please tell me there's going to be like a fucking awesome like montage of like Varnas reforging this armor and bashing it into some cool ass shit.
I don't know, maybe.
Maybe. So
See what happens.
with that, the group of you take about 8 hours to sleep, right? And eventually getting towards like 1 p.m., 2 p.m. There's no windows here, so you're able just to sleep from the pure exhaustion you have, not just physically for some of you, but mentally as well, having to endure the stress that fight and these past 2 months have been. But you wake up, and for the first time, you wake up feeling at least a little relieved, because you don't wake up in a shitstorm or in a terrible position. You wake up the victor, one would say. You wake up the person who won. And as all of you wake up, you share looks with one another. Some of you can't help but smile, because you're finally on the winning side. So, with that, as the 5 of you wake up with Doggelin, of course, Doggelin is there as well. He's also fully healed. He's feeling pretty good.
No, Doggelin.
So, with that, the 5 of you have about, like I said, a week of downtime. If there is anything in particular you wanted to do. Now, Annika did say that as soon as you're ready to come and see her, as soon as you've had a good sleep to come and see her, so you would have that to do on this first day. But other than that, you have a week, because they don't really need you right now. In terms of planning.
Isn't that a weird feeling?
As I've said before, you guys are like SEAL Team 6. Like, you guys, you did your job, and you're done. Like,
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
yep.
Yeah.
You got her. You've won. So with that, Annika did want to speak with you, and then I know Jalissa wanted to talk to, or Salem maybe wanted to talk to Jalissa, talk that through. So all of you wake up, look to one another. Some of you smile. So, what would you like to do?
Should we see Annika first?
You should
Maybe
let me.
that's-
Jalissa first? Or what should we do?
Probably. Oh shit! What is her name? Annika.
Annika.
Yeah.
I'd say Annika, because
Yeah.
we're all here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say we check in with her and see what she has to offer us, and then we do need to update and inform Jalissa everything that's happened and what our plans are next. And then if anybody has their own business they'd like to take care of, that might be the best time. It's not
Okay.
often we can
Or
just
anyway.
walk the streets, I guess.
That's true. We can be ourselves.
Yeah. Let's go see what Annika has to say first.
Okay.
And I think Alec would be smiling because she doesn't have to fear someone fucking throwing a rock at her face or anything crazy. So, she's kind of beaming today.
Doesn't embrace her. She wishes someone would.
Right?
Not like they would hit anyway.
Hey. Mwah.
Okay.
So yeah, she'd whistle to Doggelin and head to try to find Annika.
Runs up right next to you, and you can almost hear Doggelin singing "Why Should I Worry" from the hit 1990s movie.
Wow.
Okay, I'll stop.
Oliver and
Absolutely.
Company.
Yeah.
Alright. Go see a lawmaster.
Alrighty. So with that, the 5 of you make your way from the Golden Cove, and as you're making your way through, I'm gonna go ahead and control your tokens here. Oh, look at that! Isn't that fun? I like-
Making my way.
Nice.
Oh, I see what's happening. There's a wall right there. I forgot that I put that there.
Hmm.
Perfect. So, you make your way... Look at Alec just bopping back and forth. Making your way through the new city until eventually down that main thoroughfare. And, oh god, this is terrible. Cursed. Alright. No more walking. You guys are just flying there. Oh, and boop. And boop. Alrighty. So with that, the 5 of you make your way down to the... oh wait, why is Mechanics invisible? That's funny.
What the hell?
There's 2. Oh, there's 2 of them. Ah! You make your way to the governor's mansion near the old city, and as you approach the guard standing in front of the gate, you can see they're no longer golden shields. They are law knights. 2 women of Arathis who nod at you, open the gates, and allow you to pass in. And as you enter into the governor's mansion, you're waved in, and you can see, as you are approaching, you can hear it as you're approaching. You can hear Governor Torin speaking in a very deep, calm voice, and Annika also trying to speak in a deep, calm voice. But overshadowing both of them is this loud and bludgeoning to the ears, just saying, "Well, I don't care if they're sleeping. I want to talk to them. Where are they? You said they'd be here. I want to speak to them." And as the 5 of you enter, you can see this large, barrel-chested man, thick, bushy, auburn beard, with hair that's pulled back into like a sort of like half up, half down on the back of his head, and you can tell that the top of his head is starting to thin with hair, but pulling back to try and cover up, push the hair off to the side to cover up the baldness. He turns around in rough-spun leathers with like a fur cowl around his shoulders and like a navy blue cloak wrapping around it. He says, "There you are! The fuckers that killed Agatha Durandon!" And you see him kind of like stomp towards you, and all of you are almost ready to brandish your weapons, and eventually you see Ulf Hornwood. He says, "Why couldn't you have done it any fucking sooner? Christ!" And he like grabs onto probably Varnast right there and like pats him on the shoulder, and he says, "You done good, all of you." Oh my God. May Lord be blessed. I thought that, well, needless to say, past few days have been quite the turnaround for me. I was about to be kicked out of the Golden Shields, but then you kill her, and now, guess who's in charge? And you can see that it's 1 o'clock, but he's terribly drunk already. And he says, well, I'm happy you're here. And boy, do I have some surprises for you. And he walks back towards the table.
I'm a fan of this drunken, filthy man already.
I was waiting for that.
And you can see that as he approaches, he like slams back down on the table, and you can see a few goblets of like miscellaneous types of wine on the table near the map of Efera. He's just kind of spilled a couple over already as the map is stained in different parts with red. He sort of tries to cover it up a little bit as the 5 of you enter, and Governor Torin and Lawbear Annika give you very courteous nods. So I'll go ahead and share those 2 as well. Maybe. There we go. Show 2 players. And not the High Priestess. Lawbear Annika, there we go. Show to players. So we have got these 3 studs here. All 3 of them there. As all of you are approaching, they all, Torin and Annika seem very pleased to have you, and oh boy, is Ulf Hornwood stoked to see you. And Morganix, you actually know a little bit about Ulf Hornwood. Being from Iverion, and Hornwood being the noble house of White Harbor, the same city where you left from when originally going to Efera. And you know that Ulf is kind of the, not to use an outdated phrase, but kind of the red-headed stepchild of the Hornwood family. And he was never really respected all that much. He was a commoner who ended up marrying into a royal family in a very strange turn of events, and he's a renowned shipwright. But because he doesn't have any actual noble lineage in his blood, people just kind of shit on him all the time.
Aww.
But he is good at what he does, and he is a fantastic shipbuilder. A shipwright, I should say. So, that's generally what you know about him. And Torin and Annika, they sort of look to you and giving you smiles, and Annika looks to him and says, well, if it's all right, Governor, I would like to tell them the good news. And Governor sort of looks to her and gives a grunt and, go ahead. And she says, so, it is my pleasure to inform you. You can tell she hasn't slept, all those bags underneath her eyes are starting to get fairly prevalent, especially against the sort of alabaster-colored skin. She says, with the funds that we've procured in the Golden Cove, a good portion of those funds will go towards paying the remaining Golden Shields who are here, giving us a combined force of almost... I'm sure that Ethos soldiers will be more than happy to join us as well. Almost 1,250 soldiers to march on New Efera with.
Cyrus whispers to Varnas. That's a lot, right?
Yeah, it's a lot.
And, well, apparently with things have been going in the revolution there, I have a feeling marching with those soldiers, well, I have a feeling that, the governor isn't going to have very many options. He's not the Governado anymore, I don't have to say that. Arathis, bless. So, that's good thing number one. That when we march on the governor of New Efera in 2 weeks' time, he'll have nothing to do but flail and scream and cry until he decides to surrender. I already hear that he's trapped inside his own walls, inside his own mansion, with nowhere to go. Now that Immaril's no longer there, he has no way out. He's trapped. So, that's good thing number one. Good thing number two is, well, after discussing with the governor and now understanding the full implications of his moving, there will be an election held when the soldiers march back from New Efera for a new governor. But in the meantime, while Governor Torin is marching with us, after speaking with her about it, Jalissa will be the interim governor until an election can be held. So she'll be...
Morgonix is going to just break out and do a bright grin.
Yes, I thought the same, as typically I have a very big problem with those who are self-proclaimed thieves and brigands, but it seems as though she has done a great service for the city, and without her help we would not be in the position we are. And you can see that took a lot for Annika to say, as she was very tight in her jaw when saying those words.
Chef's kiss.
She is also of the same blood and kin, and she will uphold what we've discussed. And she kind of like looks to the governor.
Yes, she will. Her and I have talked about it in great detail already. The natives who still exist in the city, we have already begun to reach out to, trying to pull them up from the shanties that they're living in, knowing full well that, as hard for it is to me to admit it, it's my fault that they're there in the first place. So I'll be doing everything I can to pull them up and give them a fair chance. And
Thank
with
you.
Jalissa's help, she will carry on what I've started after I've left.
Good. This is a very good first step.
And there's a third thing. And you can see Ulf kind of light up, and he's like, oh, is this my thing? And she kind of, I forgot about your thing. Please, Ulf, go ahead.
Oh, not a problem. Most people forget anyway. So, Agatha, before she was thankfully dealt with and killed, she wanted me to make a new ship for her. She wanted something that was faster, sleeker, smaller, something she could skiff around on and not have to worry about those two giant cannons, because I don't know if you've ever sailed on a ship that proceeds with hellfire cannons on them, but those things aren't light, and they take quite a bit to move around, and on a ship need more sails, need more mass, and not exactly the fastest thing. So, well, I had finished it.
Ulf, let me stop you right there. I'm already at half mast, and I don't mean the ship.
This is a man, and he kind of slaps you on the shoulder, and he throws like one of the half-empty goblets in your hand. Here, drink, why don't you? I like you a lot. So, be ready. You might want to get a pillow to cover that thing up then, because you, my friends, are getting her new ship. I come up with the name myself. I made it from scratch. It was made from a hearty oak found in the Rufficent Grove, and the ship is called the Swift Sunrise. And that's one of the fastest ships I think I've ever made, and the most beautiful thing about it is and you can see him kind of stop and slow and get a little consumed in it, and he says, I grew up near the Rufficent Grove. I had been there a few times as a kid, and the trees, in the sunrise and sunset, the forest almost looks alight with flame across it, but it's just the color of the bark and the leaves shimmering and creating these refractions of light. And when harvesting the wood and the sap that was used in those same trees, well, the ship looks like it's alight with flame in the sunrise and on the sunset. And as the wind blows, it'll get you from destination to destination faster than any ship I can guarantee you that's on those oceans now. And well, I think that killing that bitch, you deserve it!
Joe, you're being so loud, your mic suppression is like cutting you out.
Oh, that's really, really funny. Oh, I forgot that I have noise suppression on there. You all, he was just cackling.
I think we got the gist of it.
Yes, but he says, so the ship is yours. There's a crew on there that whenever you're willing, they know who to answer to. And in case you ever decide to leave Efera or go elsewhere, you'll now have a ship and a crew that's willing to do that for you.
I don't know how to thank you for that. Nalik is like looking at everybody. This is good, right? This is how this works.
This is lovely.
This is amazing.
Well, there's one more thing. And Annika smiles, and she sort of looks away and then looks towards you, Morganix, and says, I know how much Duncan meant to all of you. I remember him. We found journals of his in the academy, detailing what he thought about some of you. And so now that all of you are back, we thought it was only right that, well, now that there's not really anyone in the Golden Cove, the Law Knights and Bears have no reason to stay in Duncan's old academy. So it was in his last will and testament, after Jalissa told us what had happened, that it be gifted to her, and if she plans on being governor, she doesn't need it. So she wanted to give it to the 5 of you. There are parts of the building that are run down that will need to be repaired. We weren't exactly in the best spot. But the area is beautiful, and I think that Duncan would be much happier knowing that it's in your hands as opposed to ours.
Thank you. That is a mighty gift.
And I will say that any of his personal libraries or archives had been left alone and undisturbed.
I appreciate that very much.
Of course. So,
I was thinking that with what funds we would have given you for payment, I thought that if you're all right with it, the majority of those funds would go towards rebuilding the academy. I don't want to force your hand at all, but I figured that would be the preference there anyway.
Oh, I don't mean to speak for anyone, but I think you've paid us more than fair.
Agreed.
Far more than fair.
I agree.
I do too. I've never been given much before in my life, so I who am I to say that this is unfair? You've given us so much.
I think it's only fair that without the 5 of you, this wouldn't be happening. The natives would have been hunted to extinction or assimilated into a culture that they never wanted to be a part of in the first place. Without you, who knows where it would have stopped. If Agatha had her way, it wouldn't have stopped until all of the natives of Efera were either in chains or dead. This is, in fact, by all of the laws that I was ever taught under the guise of Arathis, if anything, this is not enough, but it's the best that we can offer.
It is a start, and that is what is most important. And the fact that we are finally realizing the mistake, and we are on the path to fixing it. It means the most to me, and I know it would have meant the most to my father as well.
Yes. You can see Governor Torrent definitely shutting down and kind of looking down at the desk at the mention of your father and says,
Well, I'm glad that we can begin to repay that debt.
Today is a new day for my people and yours. And it is a good day.
It is a good day. A good day indeed. I'm sorry, did I miss something? Why are we moping around for? We did it, it's over! I mean, aside from that fucking prick with a stick shoved so far up his ass, it's coming out his nose. I don't understand why we're moping around. Let's be happy. You haven't even touched your wine yet. Come on, am I the only one excited here?
Oh, no, I'm getting him something stronger. But one moment.
I like the way this one thinks. And you can see Torin and Annika smile a little bit. And then they look towards each other. And the governor looks to you and says,
Well, as I believe has been said already, we greatly appreciate the help you have given. But sadly for now, until we depart from New Verdalka, your job is finished. Explore the academy. Look at your new ship. Do whatever you wish for the next week. You've earned this. We should be mobilized and ready to leave, ready to depart in 7 days.
Okay. We will be there and we will be ready.
Of course. Well, thank you again. Definitely living up to the name. Wardens of Efera.
and with that, the 5 of you are
led out of the governor's mansion.
Sorry, real quick before we leave.
Of course.
Ulf,
I
I was wondering, I need a favor from you.
Sure, what you need?
I need you to look into any of the golden shields that aren't in New Efera. I need to know if Agatha sent any to West Salamander.
And you see his brows kind of drop and seriousness take over his demeanor, and he says,
All right, I will. I can do that.
Thank you.
Of course. So I'm the general of the Golden Shields now. Do a lot of things.
And then Varnast will leave.
okay, alrighty. Alrighty. So as the 5 of you depart, with Doggelin, of course, you begin to head off towards wherever you want in the city of New Verdalka. Your horizon limitless, and a full plate of things to dig into. And a full week, 7 days of time, to determine what you want to do before you march on New Efera. And that is actually where we're going to go ahead and take a break, because that is actually an hour and a half. Yeah, there you go. Congratulations.
Well, we were just spoiled with all the good things. Something awful's gonna happen later.
I'm gonna pull another card and lose it all.
Mm-hmm.
Draw the ruin card, lose everything we earned.
Oh, God, yeah, wouldn't that be funny?
It'd be so funny. That's the
Quite
word I was
funny.
looking for. Funny.
Yeah, because the first one that you drew was the Joker.
Isn't that like lose a level? Or like a ton of XP?
No,
Yeah,
It's like
the
10.
idiot is when you lose intelligence.
No, the Fool is you lose 10,000 XP, discard this card, and you draw from the deck again. Counting both draws as one declared draw. If losing that much XP would cause you to lose a level, you instead lose an amount that leaves you with just enough XP to keep your level.
Oh my god, thank god we just leveled.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's why I was saying, I was like,
God.
that would have been kind of awkward. I mean, I do Milestone anyway, so I guess I would have just held you back a few sessions for level 9.
Yeah.
I suppose. Yeah, that's right. Salamander Coast people would recognize that Lawbearer Annika is from the Cold Over Keep campaign. She's older now.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she's
Aww.
yeah, she was actually a good friend of Father Fronheim, who's now, I guess, technically Paylor. But
What?
yeah, because of how divinity works in my world. But yeah, so Lawbearer Annika, she was actually a priestess of Arathis in Coldober Keep. And then after it was attacked, she was able to get to Verdalka, and then left from Verdalka to go to New Verdalka, leaving Tarkir behind, and rose to Lawmaster, or Lawbearer, I mean, in New Verdalka. So she's older. She's like in her 40s, 50s. But due to her devilish influence on her lineage, she doesn't really...
She looks good for her age.
Yeah, the age doesn't really
does.
show up that much. Also, it's the same art, you know, so... But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. We'll be back in like 5-10 minutes to see what they plan to do in their week. Yeah, alrighty. BRB. All you can see is the break screen, but I'm really coming back here in a second. Here I am. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Roll with Advantage 5e. My name is Joe, and guess what? Still, second half of the session, I'm still your Dungeon Master. So, happy to have you back. And I'm happy to dive back in. So, provided everybody else is ready to dive back in, I think. I mean, is everybody
Yes.
good?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
do it.
So let's roll the intro and then let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty. Hello, everybody. We're back. And with that, let's go ahead and dive back in. So, picking up where we left off, the party had finally won. They'd won the city of New Verdalka. They have all of the troops that go along with it, along with the troops of Ethos, Ambrose, and the natives that Nahara has with her to take back New Efera, to free New Efera from the shackles that are the Governado and his malicious and tight grasp on the city. So, you find out that you have the aid of all the soldiers, around 1,200-ish, which is more than enough to take back the city, especially in the state that it's currently in. You also discover that you have you have gotten quite the spoils, right? Roll credits to the victor goes the spoils, and you, boy, did you guys get the spoils. Inside Agatha's treasury, inside her vault, the Golden Shield's vault, you found 1.2 million gold, several magical items from an immovable rod, a bag of holding, goggles of night vision, bracers of defense, a staff of fire, and then finally, on top of all of that, tucked away in the very back in a very ornate chest, was a deck of many things, a very powerful and very cursed magic item that has spelled the end for many unwise and without willpower groups. So, luckily, all of you, aside from Cyrus, which luckily is the person holding the deck, has fairly good willpower. So, you have the deck. Cyrus drew 2 cards, one causing him to lose some information, but luckily, having just gained his level in Sorcerer, not doing too much damage, and then the other one gifting him with 50,000 gold worth of gems. Sayla stealing 4,000 of those, of course. It'd be uncharacteristic of her to not. So, after that, you also learn that there are 2 things that were waiting for you in the governor's mansion. For one, a ship that was going to belong to Agatha. A smaller ship, but very, very fast. The Swift Sunrise already has a crew, and whenever you all are ready to leave New Efera, or New Verdalka, and Efera in turn, it will be there waiting for you. Also, Lawbearer Annika had the honor of bestowing you with Duncan's old academy, the Eferan Academy, a place that he wanted to turn into an academy for people who wanted to learn magic, or who maybe weren't talented in it. Sort of the opposite of Emeril. Instead of finding people who were talented, asking anyone who even thinks that they wanted to try and give them a chance. A very Chef Gusteau, if you will. Anyone can do magic. But that place was given to you all, to do with what you will. There are repairs that need to be made, and it will take them a little bit to make those repairs, but in the meantime, you will have choices on what you want the finished and final product to look like. So, from there, that was the big thing. And the last thing you were left with was that they didn't need you right now. Ulf Hornwood, Governor Torin, and Lawbearer Annika, you all had done your duty. You had done your service. And now it's up to them to organize everything, to get the marching order, and then to march on New Efera and finally free the continent, at least the native tribes of Efera, from the absolute torrential and awful nightmare that has been the past however many years, where they have been sort of trying to make these deals with these colonists. So as all of you make your way out of the governor's mansion and back onto the city streets, I ask you, what would you like to do?
Real quick, Alec has only very few things, but the first does involve her speaking quickly with the law bearer when everyone else is gone. So like she would hang around while everyone else kind of like walks out.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Not a problem. So
who else is in the room still?
Ulf Hornwood and the governor.
Okay. Alec would turn her attention to Annika though, and she will just say, when the time comes, and when we reach New Efera, I am not sure if you have a plan on attack, but there is something that is very important to me, and I only feel right if it is I who am the one who does this. Agatha did something to my father, and he is somewhere in New Efera. I do not believe that he is much of the man that known as Logan Silverfoot is no more, and whatever is there is something that needs to be taken care of. And I believe that is my duty to do. So I ask that when we march, if Logan Silverfoot or what remains of him is found, that I am told and I am the one to take care of it.
Yes, of course, Alec. I will be sure to inform Ethos and have any of his captains inform you that if there are any natives that are found, that they're brought to your attention.
Thank you. I don't know how much you know of what is happening to my people or
And
what
you
is
can
being
see
done to them.
all of them grow very uncomfortable. And Ulf
Okay, so I assume you all do know then.
The two of them, Torin and the Annika, they sort of look to each other and they try and stammer and speak at the same time. Well, we really only know rumors. We don't know. And Ulf, he sort of raises up his hand, and both of them stop. And he says, "I seen it with my own eyes. I did. That woman was cruel beyond all belief. I'm sorry."
Thank you. I appreciate your words. I am still continuing to learn how to process this, but I have accepted the fact that my father is no longer here. And again, I am.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, wait a second. I think it's readjusting here. Sorry, we're gonna have the mic situation figured out by next weekend. We just need to get it updated.
I don't know what the last
there you
thing
go.
you heard me say other than trouble. Get off.
Oh my God, of course it was him. It was, I am newly adjusting to this information, and
Okay. She would just say, this information is still hard for me to handle.
but I feel as though I am ready to accept what has happened. In order to better be the leader my people need me to be. So, and you can see like she's still trying to figure out how to use the right words because she's not really sure. But I don't wish to make this a personal matter any more than it already is. I just ask that if you find him, or whatever is left of him, you let me know immediately.
Of course. I will be sure that you are informed as soon as possible, if anything is found.
Thank you. And she'll just fist to her chest and she'll just turn around and leave.
And Annika will give you a slight bow. And you depart. So with that, meeting the other 4 of your companions outside, the city is then yours. So, explorers of Efera, what do you want to do?
Well, oh, go ahead. You go first.
I was just going to suggest, I would put it to the party that we went to Duncan's Academy, first of all.
Yeah, Morgonix needs to do that.
Sounds good to me.
I have several errands throughout the city I needed to run. Would you all be alright if I caught up with you later?
Sure.
That's fine. You good, darling?
Yeah.
Does Varnas look fine?
He looks tired. I mean, it doesn't look like anything's like super, super bothering him, I would say.
Okay. Well, Cyrus will pat him on the shoulder and say, as long as you tell me you're okay, I'll believe you.
Oh. Should I message anyone before I get too busy?
It sounds like they're in communication with everyone already.
Are they in communication with Ethos?
Yeah, Annika has the ability to cast Sending.
Oh. Okay, anyone on a more
Yes.
individual level?
If you could tell Maya I'm alive. But it could be some time longer if we end up marching on New Efera. I'd appreciate that.
I mean, we have to pass through All's Crossing to get to New Efera, so you'll see her before we get there.
Sure, but
take the ship.
Unless we take the ship, then it's gonna be some time.
I'll let her know you're okay. I won't make any promises about when you'll see her next, but I'll update her.
Thank you.
Anyone else? I got 2 more.
Actually, could you see if you could find Naki? Ask him where he is.
Naki.
He was the little boy.
Who?
From New Efera, the one who
Ryan knows. I'm pretending like Varnas doesn't. It's been
okay.
a long time, and he did not interact with the kid very much.
Okay.
The child that I taught how to steal.
You did what? All right. Yeah. What do you want me to say to him?
I need to know where he is.
Oh. Okay. So am I just starting with those 2 and we'll play it by ear?
Pretty well. Let him know to come here, I guess. 'Cause this is a place where he'd be safe.
All right. I'll start with Maya.
Okay.
Maya, this is Varnast. Cyrus and the rest of us are good. We've reclaimed New Verdalka. Hope to see you soon. I'm not keeping track.
That's probably good. All right, let me see something here.
I was going to say that seems good enough.
Okay.
If you say no fucking response, I'm quitting this campaign right now.
Dark.
So, real quick, I would like Jamie to roll a D100.
Oh, shite. Okay.
No. Why would you
I-
put this on me?
Okay. Varnash, you do receive a response.
Thank God.
And it does take a moment to get there, but eventually you do hear the word of an excited young girl. She says, Varnest, he's okay?
You see Varna's head jolt from like the volume of it, like Jesus.
Yes. He's okay. Well, good. Tell him I miss him, and I can't wait to see him.
Kind of voice on that one. Yeah, she misses you. She's good. Can't wait to see you. She sounded happy.
Thank you.
All right, Naki was his name.
Yes.
All right.
Varnet's just the child whisperer.
Yeah, I know, right? I think more often
Yeah,
than not, when I've
fucking-
used this spell, something bad has happened. So
Yeah. I
Varnash
think
just
it's
hates
true.
this right now.
be related there.
You need
Right.
to message Fro as well. Just that way you can message all of the kids that you've interacted with.
Naki, I'm a friend of Sayla's. We're doing good, just trying to see where you are and if you're all right.
Is that it?
Yeah.
You do receive a response. Sayla is alive? And he's just a little young, and that's where the response ends.
That freaking kid. Anyway, I asked him where he was. Fucking ignored. That was a level 3 spell, you little brat.
Stupid little 5-year-old. How dare he?
Ah!
This
Varnash
5-year-old
used his
hearing
last spell
voices in
slot to
his
curse
head.
him out.
Yeah, Varnas like doesn't look upset, but you see like an annoyed expression like cross his face. Well, he's alive. He elected to not answer my question about where he is. He sounded all right. You heard me. I asked him. I did it right in front of you.
He's a child. He's just a kid.
I got one more. Do you want me to ask him again?
That's up to you.
Naki. Varn asked again. Communication like this is quite difficult. Could you answer where you are by chance? Please? Taylor says hi.
I'm sorry. It's just really funny. Okay.
Oh my god.
You get a response again. No response. You receive a response again. And that same voice says,
I like turtles.
do you want to hear my favorite song? I can sing it right now.
We'll never prepare the spell again. Arnis, you need to. Nope, not doing it. Someone else do it.
I didn't prepare it today. Sorry. So, you receive a response, and you can hear Naki say, I've been in the jungle now for a long time, but I'm with an older man, and his son and a lot of other people who looked like the big woman who was with Zayla. And we've been traveling for a while now, and we would... And about that point, between all the ums and ahs, the message cuts off.
Well, good news, bad news. He's not in New Efera. He's with a bunch of natives, and they're traveling through the jungle. That was all he got out.
Does he know who? Did he give you a name?
No.
Varnas, go ahead and make an intelligence check.
I mean, I think I know who he's with, but Varnast can't say for certain, so he's not going to share that information.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
Like,
All right.
I think I know who he's with, but there's no reason that Varnast would just be like, oh, of course, you know?
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Okay.
So all he knows is he's with some natives, and they're in the jungle.
Well, then he is safe.
I mean, at least he's not in New Efera, whatever's going on there.
It's true.
Anyways, I'll catch you all later.
All right.
Meet back at the Golden Coat. I don't know, where's the ship?
Thanks
Did he
for
say?
wasting a second spell because he is a child.
It's fine. We shouldn't be fighting today, so it's fine.
Yes, we shouldn't.
But boy, if I get jumped, gonna have some negative feelings about that.
Do you want me to come with you to make sure you're safe then?
Nah, I'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Is this friendship?
It's a form of it.
Okay, well this is very good then.
Yes, it is. Well, I'll catch up with you all later.
Okay.
I'll head back to the Golden Cove where we were staying. We all know that.
Well, I
place.
think we can stay at Duncan's now. It's ours.
Yeah, sorry. I'll meet up with you guys there once I'm done.
Since we're splitting the party, I have something I need to do as well, and I will meet Chins back there.
All right.
Okay.
Be safe.
As she walks away, Morgonix is going to mumble to Cyrus, 5 gold, we never see her again.
Ah!
Oh my god.
Did Zayla hear
That's what gets you, really?
hear
Don't
that?
you judge me.
Oh! So you draw the line of that comment, but you can steal Cyrus's fucking gold!
No, I'm curious if she heard.
Wait, go back to my friendship comment. Stop it!
I'm not a part of this.
No, you are not.
Oh.
I feel bad now. How dare you, people?
Because it was Morgonix saying it, like, damn.
How the turntables, truly.
Oh goodness. I guess she didn't hear it just because it's more comedic that way.
She would have waited for her to walk away. She's not stupid.
Alright, well, we have split the party.
Okay. So generally, just so I can know, we're going to start with the group of 3 there, but just so I can know where to place your guys' tokens on the map here, Sayla and Varnast, where are you guys headed to? Like, generally, what direction?
Jalissa to the sewers.
Okay. Oh, Jalissa's actually in the governor's mansion right now.
Ah, goodness. Okay,
All right.
that.
So you head back in there. And then Varnast, where are you headed?
The market district. I'm looking for a blacksmith and a seamster of some kind.
Okay. So we'll say for funsies right here, right next to the lighthouse. Find somebody over there, working their blacksmithing, husband and wife on a blacksmithing and seamstress shop right across the street from each other.
Dope. Oh, that's cute. I like that.
Wife is a blacksmith, husband's a seamstress.
Nice.
Love it.
There we go. Yeah, man. Alrighty. So we'll come back to you in a second, Varnast. And Sayla,
Yep,
you head up
no
there.
rush.
But first, we're going to go to Morganix, Alec, and Cyrus. So as the three of you make your way down the path and
Making my way.
to the inner city, walking fast, faces past, and you can see all the faces that are passing are looking at you with respect and esteem, happiness. Any of the people who look to you, they know that you are the ones who got rid of Agatha. Word travels quickly in a city that thrives on gossip, secrets, and gold. And exactly. People look to you, they smile at you, they thank you, and Alec, for the first time that you've ever been in New Verdalka, and people don't hate you. This is the first time where people look at you with respect and admiration.
And it's wild.
Yeah, and you make your way through, and eventually, after walking for about 10-15 minutes, you wind up at the academy. And you can see that the academy is what looks to be about 5 separate buildings, 4 smaller ones, 1 larger one, and about a 4-foot stone wall, really more of a fence that surrounds the entire area. So I'm going to go ahead and pull you there now. So just so you can kind of understand the general setup of the area and the eloquence that it is. So pull all to scene. There we go. Ba, 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 ba. Right. Be able to see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Are these like fancy like towers?
Yes, they are.
Oh, they're so
Ooh.
fancy.
Tokens on there. Morganix, Cyrus,
Oh my god.
and
Heard.
Alec. So, walking on to the will look to be very finely laid metal that like this brass that looks to be like intertwined between like the dirt and cobbled stone pathways, creating these beautiful displays. The torches that are lit on these freestanding columns, along with a water fountain in the very middle of it all, benches surrounding it. But you can see that a lot of these buildings are, well, the storeroom, the spell sculptor, and the 2 greenhouses are completely, I mean, they're not entirely toppled, but they're definitely, they need some love and some care. Because right now it doesn't seem like they use any of those. It seems like they just use the main academy for their lodging and the surrounding area for their training. You can see some Law Knights are still packing up some things and moving them away from the academy to the Golden Cove, make room for better and larger accommodations. But they also give you nods on their way out. The Law Knights of Arathis, all of those women, they smile and nod. And then some of the law scribes, which are men and women, they do the same as they're carrying different crates and barrels, making their way to the Golden Cove. So, as the 3 of you enter, you can see that the main academy, which is where you would frequent when you were first meeting here, is the door is open and all of you can enter whenever you see fit. So taking the area in, you can see Morganix, being the more religious person, especially for the 9 Divines, you recognize the 2 statues on each side of the map, right there. In each corner, the one that is in that teal color is a statue of Arathis, and the other one is a statue of Ioun. So law and knowledge, seeming the 2 mascots, if you will, of this
Cool.
academy.
The statues look all right.
Yeah, the statues look fine. They don't look toppled or destroyed or anything. They seem to be very well kept. The one of Arathis, a little bit more so than Ioun, especially because the Law Knights of Arathis were here. But still, Ioun looks pretty all right. Could use a little bit of dusting and a little bit of care, but nothing too bad.
I will go take care of Ioun's statue.
Okay. So, boop, boop, boop. You head over there. Whoop,
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. I was going to click and drag you over there. Ooh. Smooth criminal going over there. So then, Alec, Cyrus, what are the 2 of you doing?
Alec, this is kind of I feel like the last time we were here, books are scary to her because she can't read common very well. So like just this whole place is just very overwhelming and she doesn't really know how to be helpful. So I think she's just gonna kind of wander towards, like, is this like a big fountain right here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can see that there seems to be some type of magical light enchantment as the waters are colored this very, very bright teal blue, and on the other half they mix into a very light purple.
Okay. I think she would just kind of like wander around to just like check on things, you know? Like she just wants to be helpful, but she's not really sure.
I'd be with Alec.
She's like very content. Like she's like in a very, very like I want to say good mood. I think the conversation that she had a little bit ago, she's trying to like tuck that in the far back of her mind.
Yeah.
And just the walk here made her feel better because again, having people look at her and not either being afraid of her or, you know, mad that she's walking around. So that helped. So yeah, she's just kind of looking around.
As we kind of walk over this fountain, Cyrus would say to Alec, he's like, you know, rumor has it you can sometimes have a wish come true if you throw a coin in the well and ask for something you want. Want to try?
You see Alex's eyes go really wide. Does something come out and hand you what you wish for? Is that how this works?
Oh no. It's something that you picture what you want and
then it happens.
not immediately, maybe later, but it's part of the fun. And Cyrus will hand her a gold coin, but kind of like throw a bit of chaos on there and like bend luck the gold coin, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I get you. So, Alec, as you take the coin, you can see that there is just a little bit of shimmer and sparkle to it. The same shimmer and sparkle that you can see in Cyrus's eyes whenever he gives that big, shit-eating grin to any of his companions.
She's gonna take it and just kind of like go through the motions of throwing it, and then I and then it happens.
You not straight away, but you need to think it. You don't say it out loud. You picture what you want the most, and well, if the weave wills it, it'll happen. I mean, it's worked for me. I'm still here.
Are you going to make a wish too?
No, I don't need it. I'm still here. I've got my friends. Apparently, I'm fucking rich. And besides, we've done a good thing here, and I mean, and with the real. And Cyrus will kind of like, not mockingly, but he'll do like the hand on chest thing and be like, "I'm with my chief and warden of the north."
She's going to switch hands, so he's doing it with the correct hand. There you go.
Savage.
Thank you. Cyrus, you've always supported and stood by my side even when sometimes I act not like I should, and I say and do some things that can be kind of scary sometimes. So I'm just happy that you're my friend, and it's good to have people who aren't always afraid of me.
I could take you. He says with like the internally screaming eyes, being like, "Please realize this was a joke."
No, that's. She's gonna like punch you in the shoulder playfully, but like it's gonna be really hard.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
Okay, I will make my wish, and she'll like hold it with like both of her hands, even though her hands are probably fucking massive, so it just disappears. And she's gonna like close her eyes, make a wish, and then as gently as she can, she's gonna like toss it.
Okay, so you flick, and as you toss it, it creates a small, a few drops of water that fling up and then fall back down into the water. And you can see that there is a small
twinge and twinkle of color, almost like a shooting star, just slowly appearing and then vanishing before your eyes. You don't know if your wish came true, but it feels good to be able to wish for something and laugh about it.
Well, that was fun. I like these things. You have fun things. I don't get to do stuff like that.
I mean, we haven't even explored yet. I mean, I'm sure he's got some wine I can't drink, but I mean, it'd be a shame not to at least take a couple ready to celebrate at some point. God, hopefully soon.
Alec is just gonna give Cyrus a hug. And like when she's hugging him, she's gonna like eye the fountain really hard.
Are you squeezing his chaos luck? Like,
But yeah. And then after that, I guess just keep exploring around.
Okay, all right.
Better believe I'm about to mess with my wish.
Oh yeah, I was waiting for it.
I have to word it right.
You're not using the wish spell.
Shut up, you don't know. The power of friendship, Ryan. Okay.
True.
Jeez.
All right,
Ryan.
I love you, Ryan. Sorry, one more.
Shut up, Ryan. Followed by the power of friendship.
I mean, you say that, but like, you can pretty much not that I did roll a D100, but you can pretty much get a wish from wild magic.
Ugh.
Yes, you can.
So, just saying.
Practically. Where's this? Are you still typing?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, with that, all of you continue to explore a little bit more.
After I have cleaned the statue of Ayun, I'm going to kneel down at it and pray to her.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, there is a lot going on my head, and I'm still my future is very uncertain. But if I live through this all, if I survive the year, I vow to you I will finish this school.
Okay. Go ahead and make a religion check for me. Okay. So, as you kneel and pray in that moment, you finish your prayer and you look up at the statue and you can still see that it gives off that dull purple glow. That sign of her presence in that stone. See the woman clad in a dress with 3 eyes. You look up, and for a moment, you don't really feel anything, as if a connection to that divinity you once had was severed. But as you turn away to look towards Cyrus and Alec, you can see a woman standing near the fountain, dipping her hands into the side illuminated in purple light, tracing her fingers around in it. And she looks up towards you, and she smiles. And then in the blink of an eye, she's gone. And Alec and Cyrus standing next to the fountain, talking about something, You see Alec punch Cyrus in the shoulder, and then Alec toss a coin into that same water. You cock your head, and you feel that spark. You felt it the other day with Galadar, and now you feel it now. It's not completely gone. It's still there. She hasn't ruined you yet. So, with that, Organics, finish your prayer. You see the coin toss into the water, and the... What do you guys want to do?
Morganax would take an inventory of basically all the books.
Okay. So with that, the three of you then make your way in towards the main academy, and entering in, although there have been other people living here for months now, there is still that smell of old parchment and leather and just general old man smell that was here when Duncan was here. So you make your way into the bookstore.
Old man smell. Gross.
It turns
I was gonna say it sounds like home to her, but then you made it weird.
Well, Duncan he was living there for a while, so some things never change. So you can see that everything, at least in this main area where all of you had been so many times, at least the three of you, it is unchanged. The statues of different Tarkirian kings and queens up along the top rows, their names underneath. Stacks and stacks and stacks of books, small model ships and maps and podiums. And Morganax, as you're fingering through and looking at the different books, it hurts a little because all of them are covered in dust. No one has touched any of these books since Duncan left some 3 or 4 months ago almost. You take stock, and you spend the rest of your time going through and sorting. And you do the thing that
And cleaning.
And cleaning, yeah. You do the thing that you know you're good at. Being a librarian.
Yeah.
And you can see that going through the rest of the academy, there are a lot of other areas. In fact, one entire wing that you can tell was meant to be a library, and there are tons of books that haven't been put away, they haven't been organized, they are just sitting in crates.
This is my time to shine.
And so you have a pretty good idea what you're going to be doing for the next week.
There is another thing I will do on another day, but another day.
Okay, sounds good. So, Cyrus, Alec, are the two of you doing anything else, or are you just hanging around?
I'd just be going through stuff. Not like so Morganix and what looks like Alex kind of looking at books, not really reading them. Cyrus would be kind of going through like the back room and like just going through any like little trinkets and odd objects rather than books.
Okay. And you can see that going through any of the odd trinkets that are stored away in behind glass shelves or behind glass barricades, you can see that all of them, using your arcane sense that you just naturally have with most things, that any of the things that are in here aren't magical. They look like baubles that may entertain children, or maybe at one point in time they were. But at least as though it seems in here, there's nothing too arcane or too magically intense. It mostly just seems like they are items from a long gone age that have lost any type of arcane connection they may have. Some of them are kind of fun looking. So if you choose to, you might decide to take one of them, and it could really be anything. So I'll put the ball in Jamie's court on what weird, knick-knacky, maybe once upon a time magical artifact Cyrus decided to take.
Roll on the trinkets table. No, I'm kidding. Sorry.
Probably a weird looking set of dice if he had one.
For sure. You can see that there's not
numbers on each. They're d6s. They're six-sided dice, but there are different symbols that are carved into each side. You're not exactly sure what any of them mean, but they definitely look interesting. I mean, each side of each die is colored a different color with a different symbol etched into it, and there are 2 d6s and a small bronze cup that goes with it.
Cool.
Alec has stuff to do on another day, but
Okay.
like right now, however, she can be helpful to Morganax. Like if she sees Morganax like picking up books and like organizing it, she will attempt to do the same, but probably misplace many books. But like I imagine her putting them like fucking upside down or like she's trying though, but common is hard to her. She can barely fucking speak it, and reading it is very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But she's matching symbols the best she can. Or if there's like any large piece of furniture overturned, she's really good at picking big things up.
Yeah. Sorry, I just read your message.
I wish.
Sorry, yeah, I need a moment to God damn, how dare this game make me feel things from a sentence. God. Okay.
But you can't say it out loud because then it
No,
won't come true.
exactly. Oh! Okay. So, Alex tries to help you as best she can, and I think that I don't know if you're back yet.
Yeah, she
She
said she's DC. She'll be back in a minute.
Alright, so you help as best you can. She has to correct a few things, but with time, who knows, maybe you'll understand how to read common. Under her guidance. So, with that, we will hop then away from the Efera Academy back to the city itself of New Verdalka, and to Selah. So, as the rest of your companions are leaving the governor's mansion, and you can see that Alec is the last one to leave, standing by the door as all of you discuss where to go next, sending those messages, Varnast says that he's going to head off, and you know that there's somebody inside that you need to speak with. So, you make your way back towards those guards, and you inform them as to what you want to do, and they seem to not have any problem with it, and they take you to Jalissa's room. They knock on there, they gesture for where the door is. You walk up to it, and how would you like to approach where Jalissa's room is?
She's feeling pretty confident she's not gonna get there's nothing gonna attack her here, so she's just walking with confidence, no worry of ambush.
I want to check the traps. Okay. All right. Easy enough. Walk up to the door and knock on it.
Pretty much.
Okay. 1 second, I will be right there. And eventually you see coming to the door, in a strange turn of events for you, not in armor. In fact, no hood up for her either in this current moment. Just those large locks of black hair, very big curls that drape out the side of her face. But you can see that the top half of them are pulled back into one very tight, like almost like what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a. I mean, I guess
Ponytail?
Ponytail. Yeah, I just didn't know. Okay, yeah. So we'll tie back in like one, like half up, half down. You know, like that's currently where she's got it right now to keep some of the hair out of her face. You can see most of the jewelry is off as well. The face paint is still there. The different decorative sort of gold underlip with the teal stripe and circles and all of that. But in terms of what she's wearing, it's still teal and gold with small hints of gray. But it's something that is much more suited for a politician or a noble, not a person who is the head of a thieves guild, at least when you first met her. And as soon as she opens the door, you see a large smile come across her face, and she says, Selah, I'm very happy to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Please, come in. Shall I drink with me? She
become head of this place and you're already changing.
Oh, no, 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 no. Believe me, regardless of if we were in that little tavern in my room or in the sewers or here, you still deserve to have a drink. Gods know you've been through enough. She walks back over towards the table and begins to pour some wine into a couple of goblets, setting one down on the table in front of her and sits down in a chair. So, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I wanted to have your help in finding someone. I kind of know where he is, but not completely. So there's a little boy that's from where I am from, the Seraph. He's traveling with natives currently. His name is Naki.
I do not know the boy, I'm sorry to say, but I do know that there have been groups of natives led by a member of the Congiato tribes. Something that I had picked up from listening to their conversation below there. Something that Ethos just told them, not but, well, maybe moments after the party had left. There is a man. He is father of... You remember Ko, yes?
Ah.
There is a group of 125 natives who are being led by Kagan, his father. Now, I do not know if he is with them, but I do know that Nahara was able to make contact with them, and I believe that they'll be heading here. Stopping at Ul's Crossing, of course, but then heading to here, as Kagan has some words that he would like to have with the governor, but I think that Alec has already done most of the talking.
She did surprisingly well with all of that, honestly.
Yes, it is typically those who you assume are the most simple tend to be the people who show their strengths at the most dire moment.
She reaches into her bag, she pulls out the 2 gems and she hands them over. Can you get these exchanged for cash and make sure that someone responsible is looking after him?
And she looks at the 2 very large gemstones and looks up at you. And she takes them and pulls them over to her side of the table, and she says, I can very easily see that that is done. And you also have my confidence that no one else will hear about this.
Good.
Good. Well, was there anything else?
No, that was it. I just want to make sure he's taken care of until we retake the Seraph, whenever that is.
Of course. I will also still keep my ear to the ground to see if I can hear anything about that, about the Seraph.
It's appreciated.
Of course. And Sayla. I'm happy to see that you're happy.
It's a strong word.
There is the Sayla that I know and love.
Despite what she says, she has a small smile.
Well, I will not torture you any longer. I know that small talk and drinking is not exactly your favorite thing, so... Unless you wish to sit and chit-chat about the weather, I suppose you're free to go.
There is one thing.
Yeah.
The woman of the guard did not seem pleased that you were now in charge.
Yes, well... You don't spend 5-10 years building up a thieves guild in the city and exactly be loved and admired by the guard, but Do you know who do loves me?
Everybody else.
Exactly. So, needless to say, I have a pretty good feeling about my odds in the upcoming election.
I just found it kind of amusing.
You and me both.
On that note, I have to get back. I guess we have Duncan's old home now.
Yes, I had heard about that.
Are you okay with that, for sure?
Yes, I was happy to give it to you. Duncan. And you can see a solemnness come over her. Duncan was like a father to me. He rescued me from what might have been a lifetime of slavery in who knows what devilish markets that existed in New Efera or who knows where else. I treated him very poorly for a lie he told me to protect myself. I was never able to forgive him until it was too late. I don't feel right keeping it. As annoying as he might have been sometimes, and believe me, I can admit that he was quite annoying. He loved people and loved knowledge and teaching so much. He just wanted to be a good teacher. And although I was never a student of his, I can say with some certainty he has taught me a great deal. And most important of all is to be thankful to those who choose to surround you. So thank you, Sailor, and please tell everyone else that I will never forget what they have done for me and for this city.
I'll be sure they know.
Good.
Let's just hope Cyrus doesn't find out I snitched those from him.
Well, if he does, he can bring it up with me. You can tell him that I stole them if he notices that any of them are gone.
That works.
Use me as your scapegoat. What can he do? I will be governor soon. Very little he can do against me.
She's just gonna grin at that, like, yes. Scapegoat. Sticky finger scapegoat. What? She's a bit of a klepto. She can't help it. This shiny thing. Shiny thing. She has to take at least one.
Well, is there anything else, Sela?
No, that was it. I should be heading back.
Good. Well, anytime that you're here and you want to speak, come and find me. I'd be more than happy to talk your ear off.
Sounds like a plan. I'll see you later.
See you later.
She's just gonna leave on that note.
Okay, so you head out, and you exit the governor's mansion, and you begin to make your way back towards the Efera Academy. So we'll go ahead and take Selah. Boop, boop, boop. Drop you over there. So then we'll come back to you all in a second. So now we go to Varnast. So, Varnast, you make your way through the old city until eventually you are in the merchant district, making your way down south to the lighthouse, where after some intel, you discover that there is a blacksmith and tailor right over here who would be willing to do any work that is necessary on any piece of armor. So, you make your way there, and you can see that there is two shops. There is Fiona's blacksmith and oh man,
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, I just added. Fiona's blacksmith and Albert's clothier.
Aha.
So you can see,
Nice.
going up to the blacksmith, there is a very wide dwarvish woman who is pounding away at some steel on an anvil. And you can peek in through the windows to see a gnomish man tailoring away at a small piece of clothing on a mannequin.
All right. I would approach like whatever counter that there might be for the blacksmith, but I'll wait till she's done working on her thing because I know that some projects are very time sensitive, and it's like you got to hammer it while you got to hammer it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I would just wait patiently.
Okay, so as you approach, she just says, "Oh, sorry, 1 second, 1 second, please." Eventually, after a few more minutes, she quenches what she was working on, sets it off to the side, wipes her hands, and says, "So, how can I..." Wait a minute. You're... Barnast, right?
Word gets around fast here, doesn't it?
Yes, well, they said for the individual with the stormy disposition, and, well, I can see from the tattered tabard you've got on there, seems like, if I'm remembering correctly, Estitia?
And Acadia, but most people focus on Estitia, so it makes sense.
Yes. Well, so, please, I'm honored to have you in my shop. What can I do for you?
Well, I have a project that I need done within the week. And I was hoping you could give me an estimate, perhaps, and he'll pull out his pack and he'll start lining out all the armor that he took from Agatha.
Oh my gosh. Well, I am... needless to say, of course I'd be happy to... Is this... Doesn't matter. Nice quality materials here. And she kind of takes a moment to look around and investigate them a little bit more. And let me see here. She kind of... No, I'm thinking that this might be something in particular. This is... That's... So, funny enough that there are small bits of very rare material that have been forged into this, but if I'm to remake it, I don't think I'll be able to save it.
I don't need it remade. I was wondering if you could fit it to someone more my size.
Oh, of course. And I'll see what I can do about the materials used in it. Should be easier to do. However, I will need to pick up a few supplies. The armor seems to be made with adamantine in it, which has an uncanny ability to stop attacks dead in their tracks. However, if you're willing to sacrifice that, I could do it fairly cheap. Refitting and making fasteners isn't that hard. Are a few cracks, but easy enough to fix. However, this is... I'm assuming you'll want it refitted in its full design. I'm assuming plate, right?
Yes, please. And yeah, it won't fit me otherwise. So if the adamantine needs to be sacrificed, I understand.
Well, I could probably refit it to you for materials, maintaining the... Probably about 900 gold pieces. I could refit it for you. But then, if I were to try and maintain the adamantine, it'd be about 2,000 gold.
I know it's battered up, but how much could of a discount would you give me if I gave you that and motions to the shield that he never planned on keeping?
For the shield? Shield actually picking it up. Well, the shield's in quite good quality. I'll give you a 200 discount on either one. So 700 for the armor, or 1800 for the maintaining the adamantine. It's just it's very peculiar with temperatures, so I just have to make sure to be extra careful with it.
Well, I appreciate it, but unfortunately that was steeper than I thought it would be. I understand it's not your fault, but I will have to pass for the time being.
Oh, all right. Varnas, go ahead and make a persuasion check for me.
All right.
It's really more of like a wisdom saving throw on her part to not feel bad because she just turned down the savior of the city.
He said it was fine. Sick.
Okay. I'm sorry. It's just that business has been especially hard with the golden shields, and well, now that business can get back to normal, I just can't. I'm sorry. I just can't afford to. Sorry.
No, don't apologize. I get it.
Would you still like the gold for the shield?
It's 200. You said
200 gold, of course.
Sure. That seems reasonable.
Good. All right. And she counts out she goes in and counts out, we'll just say 20 platinum to keep it easy on you for maintaining your gold.
Sure.
and money on there. So easy enough. Mix that up. Get your 20 platinum for the one shield, the golden shield. And you have that, but sadly no refitted armor just yet.
Yeah. All right. Well, have an excellent rest of your day.
You as well, Varnast.
And he will turn and make his way over to the tailor.
Okay. So, you make your way in, and you can hear as the door opens, there's a little ping of a bell right above the door, and you can see the gnomish man sewing into the cloth. He says, "Oh, hi. Good afternoon and good evening to you, worthy master. Welcome to Albert's Clothier. It's great to have you here. What might I be able to help you with on this fine evening? You yourself look like you could use a new tabard or even a new tunic entirely. Please tell me whatever you wish, and I'll make sure to get to you lickety-split."
Yes, I was thinking about getting a new jacket, which I'm certain you could help me with. I'm guessing just based upon looking around, it's like, yeah, that's definitely within his skill set.
Yes.
Do you also do hats?
Oh, well, I don't like to brag, but I do consider myself to be quite the talented hatter. Only when the fancy strikes me.
Excellent. Okay, then I have 2 custom orders I was hoping you could help me with. I would need them within a week, though.
Well, I'd be more than happy to do so for such an esteemed customer coming into my shop.
All right. Then here's the description. So, Varnas wants like one of those like captain jackets that like wraps all the way around and like, you know, comes together in the center, and it like has a cut in the back that almost makes like 2 like kind of like tailcoats basically.
Ooh, yeah.
And he wants it as the if possible, if he has the material, the same color as his current tabard. And then
you see him take out a little quill and ink and a little notepad and just start scribbling down Varnas' description of what he wants.
He wants the symbols of Astisha and Kadia on over the right and left pockets.
Quite good at embroidery, I am. What else would you like?
That's it for the jacket.
Jacket done. Easy.
And then for the hat, I'm thinking a black sort of tricorn hat with a bit of trim. I don't know. Do you have a color that you think would look good on something like that?
Let's see. We've got the blues and whites for Astisha and Kadia. Well, I think that a white trim on the black hat would look nice.
No, let's go with white then.
White trim on the black tricorn, of course. Any feathers, poofs, or otherwise?
Do you think that'd be too much?
Well, I think a dashing man as yourself could carry it quite well.
Tell you what. Add it, and I'll see how I feel about it when I come back and pay you and put it on.
Feathers enough, they're easy enough to take on and put off. So, very well. If you hate it so much, I can take it off lickety-split when you get back.
I'm sure I won't hate it. It's just, you understand. It has to feel right.
I completely understand. All right, hat. Maybe yes to poof or feather.
And that's all I'm looking for right now.
All righty. Well, I'll get right on these. I'd probably say for the jacket and for the hat, you'd be looking at about 75 gold pieces.
Okay. And give me 1 second.
And I will say, I do sometimes work with magical threads as well. For no extra time, only for weaving it into the thread. Sizable up cost in gold, extra 300 gold. I could get it so... Well, you as yourself seem to be a strong and stocky man, but not so light on your feet, so I could make it so dancing around certain things might be easier to do. And pretty much would give you a +1 to your dexterity saving throws.
I think I'm okay, but thank you.
Of course. I always like to offer it.
No, I totally understand. And Varnas will pull out the 75 gold in full and just set it on the counter.
Okay, very cool. Accepts the 75 gold, and you can see him begin to work. Pulls out another mannequin, another bodice, and you can see him begin to slowly adjust it, sort of looking at you as you leave. Adjusts it and begins to throw different spools and skeins of fabric on top, just getting a match, an idea for colors, and then eventually begins to stitch things together.
All right, so Varnast will make his way back to Duncan's place, but he'll when he arrives, he just ends up like standing right outside of the gate, just kind of like looking in, but he doesn't enter.
Okay. So with that, Selah, you definitely beat Varnast there, so you would be, wherever you want to be in that current moment. And with that, Varnast, you do stand right in front of the gate right there. So, I would say that probably whoever might be outside at this point after, I'd probably say 2 hours. So it's currently maybe 7:30. So if Alec or Cyrus or Morganix or Selah were outside, you could see Varnast standing there, unless all four of you are probably inside.
Yeah, Morganix probably hasn't even made a dent in those books yet.
No.
I would say Alec has been staring at the same book for the past 25 minutes, trying to decide what language it is. So she's inside too, but like literally arms outstretched, like turning the book in every direction. And I think she's like speaking somewhere, just like trying to be her little assistant and be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So she's
I'd say
inside.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, you're fine. Go.
I'd say Selah's on this bench, just kind of sitting there chilling.
What's Cyrus doing?
Probably honestly just wandering the area. Like he'd probably go through the storeroom and look for some honestly he'd probably be looking for like the oldest wine Duncan had in here.
Such temptation.
But he's not gonna drink, he's gonna save it.
But it's temptation.
Nah, he's fine. He's fine.
All right. In that case, Varnast will look over to see Selah on the bench, and he'll call out to her. Selah!
What's up?
Could you get everyone by chance?
Oh. Now she's looking concerned. Just ever so slightly.
Please?
Sure. She's gonna go find everybody.
Okay, so I would say that Cyrus, in the time that you had, because you definitely, after you found those that odd dice set, you probably would not have hung around to help put away books. So you would have started your journey.
Yeah, I wouldn't be helping with books at all.
Classic Cyrus.
Okay.
Morgonix doesn't want help. He doesn't know her system.
No, Cyrus is the type of person where like he like think he's helping and he's just making it so much worse.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So, with that, I'd probably say, Cyrus, go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Okay.
By the way, just so we're up front and everybody understands the temperature, since Efera is a tropical continent, just because it's part of the about time thing that I have, it is currently 72 degrees Fahrenheit outside this evening, or 22 degrees Celsius for...
Thank you, I was about to ask.
I'm not a cruel man. I have the conversion.
I was legit about to like convert it.
Such a good temperature.
Okay, so Cyrus, you are able to find, as you're looking around, it seems as though some of the wine in here looks like it was either used by the Law Knights or Duncan while he was still here. Duncan wasn't a big drinker, as you can tell by the quite empty wine room. It's a little abhorrent and kind of terrible to you that somebody would have such a great way to organize and categorize different types of wine and alcohol and then never use it. It's a little frustrating to you, but with a 12, you do find one fairly good bottle. It's a 1750 Verdalken, which is a Tarkirian wine, which you've actually had before. It's about aged for maybe 250 years, 150, 200 years about. So it's a nice wine. You feel like Duncan might have had something nicer here, but this is the nicest you can find.
Cool. Okay.
Alrighty. So you find that, but at about that point, Sayla does come downstairs into the cellar, and she collects everybody. And Varnast, are you still standing at the gate of the threshold of the academy?
Yep, just outside the gate.
Okay. So with that, the group of you eventually are called to meet Varnast at the gate. So all of you make your way there. I'll go ahead. I guess I can move everybody there. So you can see Varnast standing as all of you begin to approach. Currently 7:15, and at this point it's almost night, where it's really those like dark blues and blacks are really starting to overtake everything, except for the magical torch light that is always on in this place. So you make your way there, and you can see Varnast standing in front of all of you.
Are you waiting for an invitation?
No, forgive me, there's just some things that need to be said before we move forward. When I first met all of you, I trusted you, but for some of you, I didn't quite believe in you. I'm sure you probably had very similar feelings to me when I showed up. I turned to trust and rely upon my experience, and I tried to do what I could to handle the stress and pressure that came with the mission that we were given. And as I've said already, there were times where I was very, very wrong for how I acted and behaved and responded. For some of us, we've made our peace, and I'm looking over at Alec, but before we go any further, I need to confess some things. Cyrus, Morgonix and Alec saved your life in All's Crossing. I was going to let you die for the sake of protecting everyone else inside. I was convinced that if we opened the gate and came out to you, that Ethos would unleash everything he had on us and attack. It's a moment that I look on in regret. I'm sorry.
I mean, no harm, no foul. I was, well, I don't remember it. I remember hurtling into a lake, and then here I am. But, I appreciate your apology, even if I wouldn't have known any better, so I appreciate you telling me. And Cyrus will, go to shake his hand.
And Varnast will take it, shake it, and kind of give him a nod. And this next one affects all of you, but it affects one of you more than the others, and he'll look to Morgonix. Do you remember when we were at Baralo's temple?
Of course.
When we left, we learned that we had been gone for
6 months.
6 months. Okay, thank you. I was like, crud, how long was it?
I thought it was 3.
Was it 3 or 6?
It was 3.
3.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. 6 sounded better. 3 months. There was a lot going on and a lot to take in, and then there was your incident with Charles. You were hurting. You don't need to be as observant as I am to see it. We all saw you were hurting. But in those next few minutes, I made a decision that I should not have. I saw something. I went to go check to make sure what it was. I was worried it was more Knowles, someone that worked for Charles. I didn't know who it was. But it wasn't. I came back and I told you all it was nothing. But that was a lie. I found Duncan. And I didn't want to subject you to more than what you were already going through. But I know now that I was wrong, and I should have never taken away that choice from you.
Morgonix looks unhappy, lips pursed, but she nods. I'm glad you realize that. That's all I have ever wanted from you.
If I could go back and change it, I would, but...
You can't. I forgive you. I don't like it. there's no sense in me torturing you over it. I think you've learned. I think you're different now than you were then. And I am too.
I think we all are. I don't know what awaits us at New Efera. I don't know what awaits us after New Efera, but I couldn't keep carrying this load. I had to tell both of you the truth.
I'm glad you did, even if it's hard to hear.
And I certainly didn't feel like I had any right to step in here without telling you that truth. The only thing I can do now is I can tell you that I'm still with all of you. To whatever end, whatever your goals, whatever your ambitions are. I'll help you see it done. No more secrets. No more hiding. Side by side. Let's see this done.
Well, Varnas, like I said, we are a tribe now, and we carry that together. And I am the first to admit when I was wrong. I feel as though you are both right. We've all have grown a lot. And I stand by it when I say we don't let our members, our family, walk into the woods alone. So we're gonna go together.
Thank you all for having such patience for a stubborn old man. I love you all very dearly. And I hope you know that.
We do now. I'm gonna kind of just take Barnast's arm and tug him, lead him inside.
Okay. So with that, all of you lumped together.
Group hug.
Your bug.
Group hug.
Let's do it. Yeah. Wardens of Efera.
With that.
Even Sayla.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Your strength score's crap. We get you.
So with that, all of you then make your way back up and in the main academy, shutting the door behind you. For once in what seems like your recent life, you can shut the door behind you and, at least for tonight, not worry about what may come tomorrow. And with that, that is where we're going to go ahead and end tonight's session.
What? Really? Time's up already? I'm sorry, huh?
Yeah.
We're actually 10 minutes over.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
I legit thought we had another hour.
No, we didn't.
Well, regardless, that is too good of an end spot to not end a session on.
Oh, you're right.
By the way, thank you to Ryan for the recommendation of Child of Light music. That was a good suggestion.
Yo, this music was it was too good. I almost cried.
It's great music.
I know, it is great.
Chef's kiss.
Even Valerd wants one more hour. Valerd? Oh, is that what that is? feeling an idiot.
I don't know. That's how it sounds in my head.
Valord, yeah, that's accurate. Daylight savings. I'm sorry, but end with friendship. Thank you, Gemma, for once she's on my side. It was a good end and a great session. So
It was a good session because we haven't had a session like this. Like, nothing tragic happened. Like, we were able to just fucking walk through the city and just vibe.
yeah.
Right? Oh my god.
Weird. It's kind of weird.
The cards could have gone very differently, literally.
Yeah.
Drastic. This could have been the last session of the campaign.
There's nothing in there that is that bad. Like, the worst thing is, like, your soul gets taken away from your body.
Right.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's not
Oh my god,
campaign
it's just like,
ending.
well,
Do you
beat
guys
to it.
do you guys not remember the literal solar that you have at your disposal to ask for a favor?
That's
I
well,
mean, some
yeah,
of them can be bad.
Well, let's just hope Cyrus really is
Anyways,
as lucky as he
yeah.
says he is.
no happy things. Everything's great.
Happy things! Yeah, this was a good, happy, like, chill session. Proud.
Yeah.
Except for that. Oh yeah. Except for that moment she stole from Cyrus, and everybody hates her.
But you're doing it for the kid so that he can be safe.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
couldn't give a shit about the kid.
Can we raid?
You don't even spend the woods. He doesn't need money.
Oh yes, we should raid somebody actually, since we haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
Do
Okay.
it.
Let's go to raid channel.
Thanks for
okay.
watching.
Yes, thank you so much for watching.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Yes, it's gonna take me a second to find a channel to raid real quick.
Okay.
Okay, so let's find somebody who has generally the same amount of views as us, maybe a little bit.
Woo.
Let's see.
Come back
Ooh.
next week.
Yes,
Come
just
back
sad.
tomorrow.
I'm loving everyone's character progression in Efera. Fucking love all these characters. They're
I know,
so
they're-
good.
They are
It's
so
fun
good.
to be
Yeah,
happy,
legit.
Alec. Huh? Who's she?
Oh, look at all these. Let's see. This is like an all lady game. Let's raid them.
But yes, Kayla, you need to play Child of
Oh,
Light.
cool.
Quick reminder.
It's a good one.
I
Okay.
absolutely do, because this music is beautiful.
Yeah, this is the main theme from the game. It's so good.
Game Raider Girl. All right, let's raid him.
You'd love the main character too. Okay, raid.
Game
Let's
Yay,
go.
Raider. Game
Hi,
Raider Girl.
guys.
Alrighty. So
Tomorrow.
yes, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you really enjoyed the session, feel free to join the Discord server that we have, so that way you can be updated on any videos we post on YouTube, on any community questions and involvement we have, because we've been having that a little bit more often.
I've got
And-
text RP too.
And we've got the text RP going, where even if you cannot play in a campaign in my world, you actually have the opportunity to kind of influence some things and maybe even cameo in my world as an NPC played by me through the text RP on the channel. There's tons of stuff there. It's like every player that I have, and even some of the community members are doing it as well. And it's a lot of fun. It's already been so great to do. So if you enjoyed watching these people play, you can play text RP with most of them on the server, and then also with the people on Saturday's session, the Isles of Averion. So stay tuned. And I said it last week, but is it Friday yet? Holy fuck, man. God damn. But tomorrow's Saturday, and tomorrow's for Isles is going to be great as well. And even if not that, then also on Tuesday we have the Salamander Coast. So let's fucking raid these people, and let's get to it. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a great rest of your evening. Alright? Goodbye!
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Oh, wait, that's right. I forgot that it takes 10 seconds to raid anyway. So now we're in the... This is like that moment where you say, alright, bye, see you later, and then you and both of your friends start walking down
It's where
the
you're
same-
walking down the shopping aisle and you're in the same aisle. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, alrighty, let's do it. Raid now! Bye, farewell!
Unmute.
Oh,
Unmute.
they're so cute.